As we had left off, the party made their way into Greyhound. After a long rest, you ventured out into a long causeway, like a waterway, of some sort. At the same time, you happened to run into the time. They wanted to go the way that you were going, but they weren't prepared to fight you across the 50-foot gap that sort of separated you two. So a treaty was made, sort of a ceasefire, or whatever you wanted to call it. Basically, you agreed not to kill each other as both groups travelled down this path. You ran into some interesting creatures along the way, until eventually the New Order split off because of a hidden path that Vorkris discovered for them. And after activating its secret door, they went off the beaten path. Excuse me. You guys continued down the walkway that was open to you for many hours, until eventually you came to a massive cavern with inverted-based structures that spewed waterfalls from out. Light bounced around all across this miles-long cavern to reveal a monolithic, upside-down underground city. You explored this area briefly, going over to the first stilt. It was inside here that you discovered a few things, a map of the immediate area, also the name of this place, known as the Water Stilts, and you also discovered a teleportation circle that was currently off. It wasn't disrupted in any way, it was just off. And that's when the arcane-based users realised that they were having difficulty, or something was affecting them. Your connection to the weave itself is dimming here, and you theorize you have maybe about 72 hours left before you're completely cut off. You guys decided to take a rest inside the first stilt after dealing with some furniture that came to life. And I believe that was where we had left it off. So, who was going to have we already done the watch, or were you in the process of doing the watch?
No, we hadn't actually arranged anything yet. We said we were going to do a watch, and we're just going to do it from inside the tiny hut.
Okay. All right. Well then, who will be taking the first watch?
I can take a first watch.
Okay.
I think I said I would because I'm still quite fresh.
Okay, so Vorkris and Lisma will be taking the first watch. So, for you two, will you be in? I know that the tiny hut is going to be inside the stilt. Will you guys be keeping watch from inside the little dome, or will you be venturing out onto the walkway and the balcony on the outside of the stilt to have a view of the more immediate area?
The plan was to stay inside the hut, but I might nip out once or twice. So every if it's a 3-hour watch, so every hour I'd go out and just have a quick little walk around our little stilt and then get back in the hut.
Okay.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, sound the alarm kind of job.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'd probably. Sorry, dogs are going wild. I'd probably alternate with him, in and out of the hut. So maybe do a patrol routine. But so we're always in sight of each other, so we can raise any.
How official?
So basically, what you are right now is you are in a. Did anybody see that white line scribble across the map?
Yep.
No.
What in the world was that? What
I
is
think
that?
this is Lee doing weird stuff because he's.
You can't see it. Cora's face is burning.
It's
now it's a donut.
It's magic. Sorry, I just wanted to check and see if it worked. And it does work, so we're good. Sorry.
Okay. So, you guys are basically, the stilt you're on is basically a square and you're inside of it. The outside is obviously go around. So can I just assume that you guys, will you be at, if you're alternating or patrolling at the same time, you be on corners, like moving from corner to corner, like that, or will one person do a lap round, go inside, and another person, like say half an hour later, will go outside and do another lap round?
I assume it'd be one person at a time. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. If that's the case, can I get perception checks from the both of you, please?
Well, there we go. Oh, that's not bad.
I'm perceptive as always.
Lizma, it's very loud in this area. Like, looking out over the balcony down there, you don't see the bottom, you just see that white chasm of mist where the water sprays, and you kind of get lost in a bit of sense of vertigo, really, not knowing how far down that can actually go. You know, a few hundred feet, miles, longer? Whoa, don't really want to think about it. But that sense of vertigo kind of throws off your senses over the course of your watch. Vorkrus, same sensation, but you are able to sort of steel your mind a little bit more to be more aware of everything around. The only thing you will notice is not on your stilt, but several stilts away. Occasionally, you'll see a large winged creature, a medium-sized winged creature just flying about the chasms. It streaks sort of on its side towards one of the waterfalls, and you can see it has like claws or like talons for feet. It streaks into the waterfall and looks like it grabs onto something before flying off higher and higher up into the stilts above. You surmise, well, you don't know exactly what that creature was. Certainly didn't look like any normal bird or anything like that, but it's probably hunting, and there's probably forms of food for it that comes out of the water.
I will make Lismo aware and just point it out, and whoever is on watch afterwards, I will also let them know. There's some weird flying thing around here.
Okay.
Try not to get eaten.
All right. Is there anything you two would like to roleplay with each other before the next watch?
I'd happily take him through my magic book again, although it looks like he's had to nip off and do something, so he may not actually be there.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're still magically inclined, I'd happily...
Yeah, I think I'd have a
blah.
look, and I'd probably be more focused on the actual, like, how the spells look within the book rather than what the actual spells are. Because I don't think...
Well, that's all based on my horrible handwriting, which isn't horrible handwriting, it's all part of a secret code.
Right. But more like the actual function and trying to work it out so that I don't think Lisma would be interested in raising the dead, but I think he'd be interested in maybe the more...
I mean, I do know other spells, I just focus on those.
Well, he'd probably be interested in the more advanced ones as well, like the ones that are...
Haste that I cast on you earlier?
That would actually be interesting. I think he'd definitely be interested in looking into that.
It takes a fair bit of magic, but it's very useful. But you have to concentrate on it, like so many spells.
Yeah, I've noticed when I'm trying anything, I do have to, like, I feel the energy, but I have to really focus on it at the moment, and it still doesn't do a lot. Well, sometimes it seems to do more than others. I just can't quite get the grasp on it.
Well, it's taken a lot of practice for me to be able to focus on that concentration. It was not something I got naturally and not something I grew up with. Luckily, I found an old magic book. It taught me everything I needed to know.
Well, maybe I'll be able to find my own somewhere.
Maybe. I will happily help you if you do.
Oh, I appreciate that. I would, well, I don't know how I'd be able to pay that back. I guess I'd make sure you don't die in combat. I'll do my best to keep you safe.
If everyone does that, I'll be quite happy. If I never die, I'll have reached my goal.
Immortality?
Well, nobody wants to die, do they? Unless I get old and weak and then can't do anything, and then I might want to. But for now, I definitely don't want to die.
Yeah, exactly your point. Like, living forever.
If I could stay young and strong forever,
that'd be pretty cool. Although, don't you think you'd get bored? Don't you think you'd get so bored you start amassing legions of zombies to just do stuff with because you're bored?
Well, no, the way I see it is there's so many books in the world, there is so much knowledge in the world that no one could amass it all unless they lived forever. If I have all the time in the world, I can amass all the knowledge in the world.
Well, essentially, you'd become a god.
I mean, I'm halfway there.
You're halfway there. You're half god.
Look at me. Are you not? Do I not strike a powering presence? My cape billows.
You just see me with like a straight face and just like, not really.
Oh, I'll keep working on it. My cape.
But maybe I just haven't seen you prove what you can actually do yet, because we've only known each other a short time, and most of the combat's been a bit Q-whiff. So yeah.
Well, for now, I think our main focus has to be getting out of this place. I can feel my magic fading. It's terrifying. I'll be weak and powerless without my magic.
Jack, would I also notice that like whatever I do feel is like fainter?
Yeah, I mean it's harder for you to concentrate on it. You don't actually have any access to arcane-based spells yet, so
it's more like really fuzziness rather than anything.
Yeah, like
okay.
TV static.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like even what I had is just not quite there. I don't feel like I'd be able to learn anything in this place doing magic.
Yeah, I definitely don't think staying here for a long time is a good idea.
No, but hopefully we can find our way through soon enough, and maybe take some of those New Order guys with us.
Always a good plan.
Hopefully in a body bag.
Or I'll make their own bodies walk out, because that's much easier, and then I get my army back. I mean, there's 2 people, but, it's a start.
Okay. So, your watch comes to an end without any significant developments, and you go to wake up the second watch. Who will be taking that?
I'll probably volunteer.
Core doesn't have a problem taking a watch whenever it is that it needs to happen.
We shall wake up Agnes and Cora, and I shall say, by the way, there's a big flying thing. It doesn't quite look like a bird, but then nothing looks quite normal in this land. But yeah, it's like you might catch it over there somewhere, diving in and out of the waterfalls. I think it's hunting for something. Just wake people up if it comes a bit closer. But it stayed away.
Okay. When you say a big bird, like how big of a bird? Like we saw that one. Do you remember we saw that one in the sky that had the weird wings, and you sent up McGonagall to go look at him? Was it like that big, or was it bigger?
How big was it, Jack?
The bird you saw previously could be classified between large or huge. What you just saw would be classified as a medium-sized creature.
Yeah, so it's about the same size as us, just with wings.
Oh. Well, if it's trying to catch something, birds normally eat, like, fish? I mean, if they were going into the water,
it's
maybe
very possible, but it was in the waterfall. I mean, are there fish in the waterfall? That would be quite impressive.
Well, I mean, there's water up there that has to fall down. The fish fall out too.
Very true.
Salmon.
Very true.
The salmon going up.
Up the waterfall.
I don't know if Kristen finds it funny or Cora finds it funny, but it's funny.
It's just establishing it's funny. But anyway, keep your eye on it, and I'm going to sleep. Good night.
Okay.
Okay. So, Cora and Agnes, can I confirm if you will be keeping watch from inside the dome or outside the dome? Like what they did previously, or like describe it to me.
I think especially since he just said that there was another thing in here with us, I wouldn't want to just stay in here. I wouldn't be forcing Agnes out anywhere, though. I don't plan on running off very far.
No, I do
plans
think
change.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye out on the waterfalls and stuff just in case, I think. Probably like they did every hour, make sure that one of us goes and has a look around, see what's out there.
All right. Can I get perception checks from the both of you, please? Okay. So about halfway through your second shift, Agnes, you will notice at the entrance where you guys originally came into this massive canyon, you can see the small group of the New Order arrive on the opposite side. They dilly-dally for about 5 minutes or so, just taking in the spectacle in the same way that you guys did, before eventually heading off in the opposite direction towards the other stilts. They don't seem to have noticed you at this distance, but you just happen to notice them, especially with that natural 20.
Does it look like they stopped for a moment and looked, or did it look like, I know that one of them, which I've made a note of their name and I can't remember which one, likes nature and stuff. Did it look like he
Sawyer?
was
Yeah, Sawyer.
Well, it's more of a case of they've never seen anything like this place before, so they were overwhelmed by the majesty of it for a moment and just sort of taking it all in. Kind of like you can hear what they were saying. You just saw them standing around looking for about 5 minutes before moving onwards.
Didn't look like they were doing any magic or anything.
No.
Okay.
You both will notice there's more than one of those bird creatures. Probably, from what you see, maybe about half a dozen or so. There's probably a lot more, though. It's just that occasionally you'll see one fly down from the stilts to stream the waterfalls to try and get something before flying upwards into the darkness to not be seen again. Is there anything you two would like to roleplay with each other?
I think we haven't seen, I went off. I think we'd just be catching up, and I think I'll probably ask what happened when I wasn't here and what you saw, and was it as scary as everything else we've seen?
Without rehashing that very seemingly long time since you've been away, I would give you information, but probably not as much as Cora typically would, because she's a little shaken with everything that just happened again. And I think she feels a little bit like she's going to have to try and make some decisions and find her path, because she feels a little wobbly on it right now. But Porquis what?
I said, come follow Porquis's path.
She can hardly animate the dead, don't worry. She would be probably trying to deflect off of answering and try and ask more about you. You still have that book. Were you able to make a sketch of those birds?
During the time, would I be able to make a quick sketch of what the birds look like?
I mean, it'd be a very bad sketch because you only see it at a distance and briefly.
I mean, have you seen my sketches?
It'd
They're
be even
really
worse than
beautiful,
that.
Agnes. They're better. I mean, I tried while you were away, but mine were terrible. I'm happy you're back for more reasons other than just writing in the book again. But I didn't really like the way my pictures came out, so I'm happy to look at yours again instead of mine. Do you think if I called to them, they would be able to hear me? Did you tell me that the new order had come in?
Yes, yeah, I would have pointed them out.
So if she pointed that out, they're no longer visible to us?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're visible to Agnes because she got the natural 20. She can see them walk down their path, and then start to cross one of the bridges to a stillage, or a stilt even, and then disappear inside the building. But they're a hell of a long way away.
Okay, so from where she pointed out to me, it doesn't look like we are in danger of them continuing to circle around and get to us anytime soon.
I mean, it's possible if you and they accidentally, it's possible that those two groups can interact in the stilts if you take the measure of paths that causes you to cross paths. But they're going to go a path, and I don't know what path you guys are going to go, but I know where they're going to go. So
okay, all right. But judging by the fact that we can't see them any longer, and we can still kind of see the birds, we should be okay with it. How echoey is it in here?
Not as echoey as you'd think it'd be, because it's overpoweringly loud with the amount of water just flowing down and splashing.
Okay.
I think that I don't know if you guys have ever been to it, but the Niagara Falls is very loud, sort of kind of like that, really, but in an enclosed area.
I think I'm gonna try and call one of the birds over. Do you think?
I don't think that's a good idea. If they are trying to find their food and trying to hunt, we don't want them to know that we are here.
Do they look particularly aggressive?
They've got talons.
Well, I mean,
so have
lots of birds of prey have talons. But an owl's not going to come and eat me, but an owl has talons.
I want you to make another perception check to try and discern exactly what the birds look like and their capabilities. Like, you can just basically see winged creatures. Motherfucker.
Yeah, Agnes.
Agnes, knowing where they're coming from, you keep an eye peeled out. And then perchance you see one descend. And you don't see what you thought was a bird. There's not actually a bird. It appears to be a humanoid individual with wings for arms and bird-like feet, but their torso is that of a humanoid woman, and they have a humanoid face, like a female-like face, with like long flowing matted hair that just sort of swoop down, take a fish, and then swoop up again.
Would either one? I mean, so I know what it is, but we would be able to recognize that, put that together based off of what we saw, at least on the glyphs or the runes coming into the place. Yes.
Ish, yeah.
Would
coming into the place, those types of birds weren't depicted.
So out of character then, right? Kristen is thinking that it's a harpy. And if it's a harpy, one of those was depicted on the obelisk. So if it's not that, then the recognition wouldn't be there. But if it is, then it should be.
Then yes, it would be of the same imagery then.
Okay. Would Cora or Agnes either have come across these or just know about them in
Go ahead and make history checks.
Because if Cora doesn't, she would probably think that they were beautiful.
You've never heard of them, but you've never. I mean, honestly, you've never seen women so bold to fly around bare-breasted before.
It's interesting. I thought that they were birds, but they have their modesty is well, I mean, I suppose they could be a little more animalistic. I'm not judging them. I'm just it caught me a little bit off guard. Do you think that they're nice? They may be able to help us get out of here.
I mean, they're not nice to that fish over there.
Well, I mean, everybody's got to eat. I don't personally eat fish, but I mean, Forkers wanted to eat the plains runners. And we haven't thrown him over that cliff yet. That wouldn't, probably, definitely not.
Have we heard anything like are they calling to each other? Are there any sort of sounds that we can hear from them?
There's some screeches, the sort of that initially drew your attention, but beyond that, no.
Yeah, you see, screeches are never a good thing. You shriek in terror. There you shriek. No. And I'm not being funny. They could do with hair going away, like someone to sort the hair out. I think they're I don't think they're very nice. I don't think they should.
It's a potion that grows hair back. We could help them. We could, like, if we can't untangle it, we could just cut it all off and give them the potion that grows their hair back, and then they would have beautiful hair, and then maybe they wouldn't screech anymore because they would feel a little more confident that their hair wasn't all, matted and tangled.
I still think we should keep a little bit of a wide. Yeah, you threw me there. Thanks. I think we need to keep a little bit of a wide berth for them. Just the sounds. Just no.
Cora's a little like, people judge me too, and it's not because of my screeching, but like maybe it's just a different language, and she's used to animals, and maybe they're somewhere in between. So she's gonna resolve to maybe ask Joe Pricks about it, because he seems to sometimes know his ass from his elbow. I plan on waking him up though. Okay, I'll leave it alone for now, but we saw like maybe 12, 13.
Half a dozen, but you suspect there's probably more.
Okay. With Agnes's perception, was she able to tell that they were actually getting something out of the waterfall?
No. Honestly, we're talking about. It's honestly. I mean, it's just purely because of their natural perception, that natural 20, you were even able to determine they weren't even birds. So, yeah.
I'm guessing they've when you go into a waterfall aiming for something, you would try multiple times. The fact that they went in once, went back up, I'm assuming they've got something. They caught it, and they were pretty good at catching it.
Maybe they were trying to take a bath too. Maybe they were trying to untangle their hair. But maybe we'll just watch for now. Yeah. Do you think you didn't see Barhawk while you were away? I'm assuming not, because you didn't know where he was when you came back to us.
No, I didn't see him.
What about... Oh, wait. You don't know that Isaac's dead, do you? Did we tell you that?
No.
No one's told her that Isaac's dead. All she knows at the moment is that Isaac isn't here.
Right.
She hasn't inquired as to why he isn't here yet.
Okay.
Well, she did ask briefly, but nobody answered.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, it feels like it's been so long. When I first came, there was all of you, and then I felt like the outsider, and now there are so many new people since, Barhawk left, or you had to go. and Isaac, and I'm going to look down at my pouch on my hip, which has Isaac dust in it. And Isaac's not here, and now Carrie and Bark are. I don't even. Do you think that thing killed them? Do you think that they died from the drop? Do you think that there's any way that they're still alive?
I'd like to think so. Worse things have happened. Stranger things have happened. I escaped from this village.
She's just gonna kind of shut her eyes really tightly, lips pursed, and just start shaking her head as she looks down towards the ground, trying to staunch the tears that want to make their way out of her eyes. So then a really, really big gulp, and a heavy intake of air. It's really nice to have you back, and see a familiar face. It's not that, I don't like their faces too. Their faces are lovely, but, I was worried about you, and it's nice to have you back. Jack, would it be possible to say that when I ran back to go get Joe Pricks, that creature took up Bark and Carrie, that they dropped their magical items and I would have picked them up, like the quiver and the luckstone?
No.
No? They're just gone forever?
They dropped with the people.
Okay.
Goddamn selfish bastards, not thinking of us as they're dying.
Sorry, but the situation that you were in, I'm not going to say that they were thinking, oh boy, we're about to leave the campaign now. Here's all of our magical weapons before we fall down this hole.
No, I don't think that would have happened either, but...
No. The items that they had on them at their person when they fell down went with them.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna continue to try and pray, even if they don't come back to us, that either they are okay and they find their own way, and that those terrible New Order people don't find them, or at least hurt them if they do, or if something bad happened to them, that they can rest peacefully.
Okay. So with that, nothing else of any note happens for the rest of the watch, and you go to wake up the third and final watch.
That's me.
So who will be taking? So Joe Pricks.
Yeah. I won't be sleeping.
And
I'd be up.
And his slave.
So obviously, Joe Pricks, you'll be remaining inside the dome, won't you?
You have to, don't you?
I think I have to. Yeah.
Yeah. Zurich, will you be patrolling on the outside?
Would the second watch they've relayed everything about the and
specifically asking Joe Pricks if he knows anything about these creatures and likening them to what we saw.
Both of you can make history checks, please. Zurich, you can do yours at advantage because of your background.
It's probably not going to help though. Yeah.
No. Joe Pricks, you have heard of creatures like this before. The name Harpy comes to your mind. You know that they are pact-based creatures. They are capable of intelligent thought. They're even capable of speech. But there's something about what they can do that gives you red flags. Something about their voice is not good. You just know that you shouldn't listen to them.
So I would, at least with the four of us, as we overlap, the watch, I would say that to us and say, I have heard of such creatures before. There's something about their voice, something that's dangerous. I don't remember what they're called. They're not to be trusted. They're not beasts. They're intelligent, but to a limited degree. I don't think it's anything good for us. So it would behoove us to be on guard, I think. And if I tell you to not listen, you have to respond quickly. I'll make sure that I have my deafness spell, I think, prepared, just in case. I know there's something. I don't know what happens. There's something about their voice, but keep that in mind. I'll think on it as I sit and smoke my pipe.
Too.
And I'll take Zurich up and I'll show him where the New Order came in and kind of what still I think they kind of went to.
I'll keep an eye on that.
All right. So
I would just suggest that if Zurich, you felt like you needed somebody else to go out and patrol, I know that she would be risking exhaustion, but she would still offer that if you needed her to come and wake her up, or that she would stay up and help you out, since Joprix has to stay inside the hut.
Cora, you need your rest.
Cora, you would not get the benefits of a long rest.
No, I understand that. Yep.
You get your head down. You've been through a lot.
She's not in a self-preservation mode right now.
Zurich, I would just after your initial walk, I would stay close.
Yeah, I'll listen to you.
Can I confirm that Cora will be joining you on the third watch then?
I thought you were going
to... Like I said, if he needs me, I told him that I would stay up and if he could wake me up if he needs me. So if he's not telling me, then I'm going to sleep, or if he wakes me up, then I'm waking up.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I will say you do get the benefits of a long rest because you are technically resting. It's just if he disturbs you for to stay with you for the rest of the watch, then you won't get the benefits. So
okay.
All right. Well, if that's the case, Zurich, go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. Joprix, you do not need to make one because you're stuck inside the dome, inside a stilt, so there's really not much to see or hear.
Right.
Okay.
These rolls tonight.
Well, you look for those birds, but hell if you can find them. It's just you just get caught up in the awe of this place, this overarching wonder of architecture. You know that there's no place like this in the old world, definitely. However, nothing of any particular note happens in any of your patrols, Zurich. Nothing comes to get you. Nothing comes to attack you. Is there anything you would like to roleplay with Joprix over the course of the rest?
Yeah, just so after been out looking, just return. It's quite a nice place. Just under the circumstances, it'd be probably better.
It's very beautiful and picturesque, Zurich, but take caution. I think that this place is going to drain us of our arcane abilities. We need to get out of here as soon as possible. We're in a race against time. After this long rest, we're going to need to come up with a good plan to get out of this place. And from what Cora and Agnes said, apparently the New Order people are in the same space. So we have to fight against time. We have to fight against an enemy, and in a common dangerous environment too. And we have no idea what we have in store here. So this is going to be very, very difficult, I think.
Well, try not to worry too much about them. I'll protect you from that sort of.
Oh, likewise. Of course, I know I can count on you. But we're gonna have to put our collective heads together to figure out a way out of this place, and it's so vast. I'm gonna take another puff, take a puff of the pipe, and I'm gonna start waving the wand like through the smoke and doing gestures to almost like creating like runes and cool sigils like within the smoke.
Can we get a carbon monoxide alarm in the tech?
I don't think it fish bowls. No, I think it'll dissipate. It should dissipate.
How are you feeling after we almost lost you? I was a little bit disappointed that I let you get in that state, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of my adventure, and it'll come soon enough. But I don't think it's yet. I think the universe still has a plan for me, for you, for us, in my role with this group anyway. So, I mean, luckily for me, yay, I'm still on board. But if it should come to pass, and it comes down to you and your friends surviving or having to let me go, then you have to do the right thing and you have to let me go.
I'll let them go, but I don't think I could leave your side. I'm sort of bound to you.
Well, you have to think of the group too, Zurich. I'm older than all the rest of these adventurers, so I've lived a long, very full life. So don't shed a tear for me, and if the time comes, that you move on with the rest.
We'll see. We'll see what happens when, or if that time ever does come.
All right. And with that, the watch comes to an end. You've all completed a long rest.
Yay!
Yay!
Now, as you go about eating your rations, Cora, you are still keeping track of the fact you're eating 6 times the amount, right?
Yep.
Ooh, those are your portents. Ooh, 18 and 19.
Interesting rolls.
I think they'll be replacing our rolls rather than our enemies' rolls. Somehow.
Exactly.
Okay, so you get your stuff together, and you are prepared to move onwards. So, from the stilt that you are on, there are 3 pathways. One of them is on the higher floor, so you'd have to go up several floors and make your way across. 2 of them are on the current floor that you're on. Now, the one that goes up, the one that is above you, and the one on the floor go to the same stilt, and that heads in a general eastwards direction. There is one path that is kind of like it heads westwards but then curves northwards. So it's a curved bridge that goes over to another stillage.
So are we heading up and along?
Which direction, just northeast, southwest, did it look like the other stilt that the New Order were going into?
So the stilt that they went to is directly east of you. They're about 5 stilts over from where your stilt is, which is still quite a significant path. Like there's a big gap between you two.
I mean, we've kind of got a truce at the moment anyway. If we bump into them, we bump into them. But, I'm just going to pretend they're not here until they give me a reason to kill them. Problem solved.
I would have made a point of telling Vorkris and Lismer about the harpies.
Is that what they were?
Yeah, and do you know anything about them?
I don't believe so.
You can both go ahead and make history checks if you want.
No.
Joe
Harpies are an elusive thing that no one in our party are allowed to remember anything about.
Well, Joe Bricks knew something. He said something about don't listen to them. So if he tells you not to listen, don't listen.
But if I'm not listening, how will I hear him telling me not to listen?
Well, you listen up until that point, I guess, and then
I
don't know.
If we're close to them and they attack, they'll use their voice. I know that. In some way.
I was able to do some extra praying, and I took a spell. I've refreshed up on it. So if you have trouble not listening, I can help you not listen.
Thank you, I think.
You're welcome.
If it should come to pass that we have to deafen ourselves, then we'll have to understand that we have to communicate by hand gestures or something like that. If it comes to
I know how to say hi. And good job.
Well, if you cast silence anywhere, if you make the noise go away anywhere near me, I can't do any of my spells.
No.
The only spell.
No, you could still talk. You just couldn't hear. I can make it so you can't hear.
That would work.
Yeah.
I'd be invincible.
Yeah, so basically what'll happen is my chipmunks will come up and they will take pieces of cotton fluff and they will shove them in your ears and you won't be able to hear for a little bit. Then when I tell them to, they can pull them back out again.
Okay.
All right. So, which bridge would you like to cross?
I'm personally on the opinion that we stay away from the New Order, but what direction is the waterfall?
Oh, well, the waterfall goes down.
From us, does it look like one of the paths meet the waterfall? I want to avoid them.
Well, there are multiple waterfalls. They come out of the stilts themselves.
North.
I think north. Yeah.
Okie doke.
Okay. All right. So you begin making your way across the northern bridge. Goes on for about 150 feet or so. It does curve, but it starts off eastwards and then curves northwards or so.
Okay.
I am just gonna quickly roll something.
It comes out of the stilt and goes straight. You said kind of east and kind of north.
Yeah, so it starts off east and then curves to the north, which will then go to the next village.
Okay.
Alright. So as you guys are making your way across this bridge, right around on the curve where it begins shaping off, your passive perception picks up fluttering of air. And you have an immediate look around. And then you hear this most beautiful song you've ever heard. It's beautiful. Serenading, almost.
Oh, wow.
Can everyone make a wisdom
guys,
saving
we need to not listen to this.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
You were too late for that.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to delete my line on this stupid map tool. I wasn't listening.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's about right.
Venas was allowed to fail wisdom saves. Walkers has a +5.
No.
Well, we're all dead.
Wisdom save, you said?
Yes, please.
Oh, there you go.
So, Cora, Joprix, Agnes. Cora and Agnes, you immediately see Joprix, who recognises what this is. Like you put your hands over your ears, just sort of block out the sound. But Volkris, Zurich, and Lisma, you stop. And it's almost as if, like, not for Volkris because he's asexual, but Zurich and Lisma, this is love at first ear. It's so beautiful. And Volkris, it reminds you of a time where you weren't so alone. It reminds you of a feeling of being loved. And you all three of you instinctively start seeking out the source of this song. And then you see a humanoid creature with wings and talons of feet, flying or hovering about 40 feet away from where you are, over the bridge. And as soon as all three of you lock eyes on that, you are magically compelled to start walking towards it. What the three of you who saved do?
I'm gonna damage at least one of them. Like Zurich, I'm gonna try and cause a little bit of damage to try and break this spell, I think.
All right. How will you damage him?
I guess I could make like an unarmed
slap attack,
right? watch me miss. Jeez.
All right. Well, go ahead and make an unarmed strike at advantage because those of you who failed to save, you were considered incapacitated whilst you were charmed by this creature.
So,
do I have to use strength as a modifier for that?
Yes.
You should have it on your attack.
Not. Yeah, it's not on there.
And you're not proficient, so it's quite literally just a strength check.
No, everybody is proficient in unarmed strikes.
Oh, are they? Oh,
yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, I do have it.
I told you I put it on there.
Never mind. All right, unarmed strike at advantage.
Advantage, yep.
Okay.
Does 21 hit you, Lisma?
Yes.
Okay, so you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as Zurich punches you across the back of the head. Can you repeat your wisdom saving throw, please?
I'm punching who?
No, no, Joe Briggs is doing that. My apologies.
I would go and tackle.
With that, Lisma, you come to your senses and you are no longer under the effect of this song.
What's going on?
Cora, what were you doing?
I'm gonna go and tackle the other two. Are they close in? It's hard to judge. Are they close? One of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think what I would like to do then is I would run past the first one and push them and then tackle the one that's furthest away, the one that looks like it's trying. You said they're making their way towards whatever the sound is?
Yes, that's right.
So like a
stiff arm. So yeah, if you're going to push the first one, go. So I'd say because Volkris is a little bit faster than Zurich, I believe. So you'll be pushing Zurich. So can you both of you make opposed athletics check, please?
Okay. With my
really good
powerful build, how does that factor in? Because I can push as a one size larger.
It means you're pushing. You can push larger base creatures, but in terms of mechanics, it doesn't give you any advantage. And Zurich, incapacitated means you just can't take actions or reactions, or bonus actions or anything like that. So it's not like you instantly fail, sort of thing. You can still kind of like, yeah. So Cora, you push Xeric. However, he's built like a brick.
What are you doing? I've heard this song before. It's familiar. Just
and then you rush up to Forcris. Can you both make an athletics check to grapple him? Forcris, you can make an acrobatics and athletics. Your choice. Fucking hell.
I'm finding it very hard
really
to believe that a 350-pound furbolg cannot get the 175-pound.
You American football, or you attempt to American football tackle Chris, but you just come up about a foot short and just land on your belly. As Vorkris and Xeric continues walking towards this. Agnes, you have
help!
What are you gonna do? You just see Cora faceplant.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna get a dagger out and I'm gonna try and stab one of them in the legs. Probably the further one back.
Closest one is Xeric.
I'm gonna try and stab Xeric.
Make an attack roll at advantage.
17?
The 17 hit you, Xeric.
No, it just bounces off my armor.
Ka-ting!
What the hell is up with you guys? Just carry on walking.
Yeah.
Just quiet back there. I'm trying to listen.
You both get to the edge of the bridge, and your senses are telling you, don't walk off. You can both repeat your wisdom saving throw as you're about to enter hazardous terrain.
Oh, Xeric.
Chris, you, in that moment of you about to step off, your senses overcome you, and you're able to shake off the charmed effect on you, and you like pull yourself backwards. Oh, oh, oh! And at that precise moment, you see Xeric walk past you, and he's about to walk. He's basically put 1 foot in front of him, and he's going to go straight off the edge.
I will grab him just by the back of the neck and just pull back. Like hand down the back of the armor. Boom!
I want you to make an opposed athletics check, please.
But I don't get a fucking nat 20 this time, do I?
I bet I do.
You do grab him, but Xeric is too strong, and
what are you doing? You just have to believe. I'm just gonna.
I gotta get Featherfall ready for him.
I've got Featherfall immediately, so as he just slips out my fingers, I'm just like, boom! Right. Featherfall through the hand.
Okay, so I'm gonna give Joe Pricks So Joe Pricks, Cora, and Agnes can have one more action before Xeric falls off the edge.
Can I cast
anything as well, or now I'm back to my senses?
You're like still gathering your senses at the moment. This is all reactionary sort of thing.
I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at Xeric and just be like, "What are you doing, you great oaf? Stop it!"
Alright, make a wisdom saving throw, please, Xeric.
I bet you pass this one. I need it.
That's a fail. Alright. So roll 1d4. So you take 4 points of psychic damage, apparently 5 points of sneak damage. No.
Sneak attack.
So just 4 points of psychic damage. You may repeat your saving throw.
Hey, right.
And you just like fall, like you just your momentum's carrying you off the edge. Make a quick dexterity saving throw for me, please. You turn around, slip, and whoa! You grab onto the side of the bridge, so you don't fall down immediately, but you are hanging on there. And as this feathered creature is going to start flying towards you, seeing.
So if I still get my action, I'm going to go over and pull him up. And again, I don't know if you're gonna allow my powerful build to have any effect there.
No. With that, it's just going to be a very easy thing. Now that Xeric is no longer resisting you, that's just a very easy thing for you to do. You're able to pull him up and over the edge, and like as soon as you get him back to the bridge, the harpy veers off course and begins to fly away, hissing at all of you.
Don't you hiss at us, you little bastard!
Looks Agnes. I'm not an oaf, you know. That actually hurt my feelings.
And it's a good job it did, or you wouldn't still be here.
Like you kept walking. I was scared. I'm sorry.
Just so you know,
the New Order people called you first.
Because you've all succeeded in the same way, you are now immune to that harpy's song for 24 hours.
That one.
Good. I'm sure there's only one harpy in here, so we should be fine now.
Just 100 more saving throws to go.
Okay, so I've got to check and see what the duration is on that. 1 minute.
Yeah, it's not long.
As a reaction, just a prepared action as we continue along, if I start to hear the harpy again, I'm going to upcast blindness and deafness to cover everybody. So guys, if I hear it again, or if somebody else hears it, like make a symbol like that or something, and I'm gonna.
Sorry, I'm surprised that Joe Bricks didn't use his portent rolls on Xeric's saving throws and put it to the right of the edge.
I was trying to be very judicious with it, but I had Featherfall ready to go just as a failsafe. But it could be a very long. This could like Worker said. This is not the only harpy.
Guys, why don't we spread out a bit so we all don't get hit at the same time?
Well, you have to stay within 30 feet of me, otherwise I can't cast that spell on you. So
that's fine, but at least you'll be able to notice if I come under the effect.
Right, but you just saw how clumsy I was. If I hear
you got the sense it was quite literally a case of anyone who heard the creature was under the effect of that song. And you could be 5 feet away from the creature. You could be 300 feet away from the creature.
No, I'm saying that if you are more than 30 feet away from me, I can't defeat you. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I'm not going to make you do anything, but if you're closer to me, I can at least 30. You don't have to be too close, right? You want your space, but if you're close enough to me, I can. If anybody hears it or makes the signal, I can deafen us all, and then, in theory, you'd only have to worry about stopping me. But if you didn't, that'd be okay too. But yeah.
I think in the event that they all set upon us, and this is just a kind of a reconnaissance swoop, that we should save those spells for that time. If they come at us one at a time, I think we might be able to handle it. But if this is just a preliminary test, and they all set upon us, that would be the time to get that spell going. I think we're just going to have to, unfortunately, keep our eyes up as well as down.
With Xeric sort of composing himself, and he's let a little bit too much motion slip out than he would feel comfortable with his comment. Just clears his throat. How about we tie some rope to each other, and then if anything happens, at least we're in a chain. They can't take us away or anything then.
I think that's a great idea.
Or they could take all of us away by just picking up one.
Oh, we'd be together at least.
I don't know. I mean,
it'd have to be very strong.
with Cora's powerful build, she could easily lift up 2 people that had gone over the edge if they're connected to her with a rope. So 3 people should be struggling.
Those things would have to lift me up if you were connected to me, and I don't think they'd be able to lift me.
You're not that heavy.
I mean, but look at them. They're not.
Well, yes, they do look quite weak and flimsy. Beautiful singing voices.
I agree with you on that.
And there's no Jack. There's like no mechanical way to not listen, right?
Creativity will always win.
I had an idea, but I don't know if it'll work using Alt Self to just make it so I don't have ears. But I don't know if it works that way.
No. Mechanically, you would still have ears. You just would look like you don't have ears.
I thought the Alt Self one changes your body parts and stuff. Because I took it for the water.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say you can, take away your ears to shut them off. I just thought if you can have gills, maybe you can change other things like that.
Alter self.
It's interesting.
Change appearance.
Because I think it only gives you like 2 options of what you can do.
Aquatic adaptation. You can decide what you look like, including your height, weight, facial features, standard voice, hair length, coloration, just if anything, you make yourself appear as a member of the race. Though none of your statistics change, you also can't appear as a creature of a different size to you, and the basic shape stays the same if you can. I can certainly see Alter Self taking away ears, but not your ability to hear, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I just thought with you being able to gain like gills effectively, being
yeah.
Water, I thought you might be able
because no, that's the aquatic adaptation, but so basically it changes your ability to be able to suit to you get gills, but it doesn't take away other parts of you. The second part of it, because it specifically says your statistics do not change. To me, that means your ability to hear, see, smell, all your senses are still available to you.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it'd work.
Yeah. That's how I'm going to roll it.
I'm going to reach down at my the bottom of my tunic, and I'm going to tear off a strip, and then I'm going to take my dagger, and I'm going to cut little pieces and roll them into like balls. I'm going to walk over to Agnes, and I'm going to pop them in her ears.
I'm going to shout back. But I could just play the bagpipes really loudly, and then nothing will be able to hear anything.
I'll take my chances with the harpies.
But then you didn't want to draw your attention to the New Order's attention to us too. But
Agnes, you can't hear
any of it.
What?
Because she's a soft individual.
I'm gonna pull them out. Go. Oh, I think that might work. I'm gonna put him back in, and then maybe see if a deeper voice, because my voice isn't so deep. Lismar.
Yeah.
You can.
Can you talk to Agnes?
Sure.
Agnes, the bagpipes suck.
Hi, Agnes.
Agnes, they're muffled out, so you don't have full deafness, but it's certainly muffled out. And what I would say is that if you did that, you could, since you would need to hear the song, I'd give you advantage on the wisdom save, because there's still a chance you might hear it. So,
sensing there's a chance you didn't quite hear me, I use message to say, Agnes, the bagpipes suck.
You may respond if you wish, Agnes.
Yes, I know my bagpipes are amazing, Chris.
Does anybody else want, like, It may not block it completely, but
I think it's a great idea, Cora. Quick, everybody.
Okay, all right.
Sure, stuff away.
Idea for the one-offs. Like when we come up against a group, it might not be so good, but like definitely for the one and twos.
Okay. So
I'm gonna for Vorkris, because he has just holes. I'm gonna spit on him to try and get him packed in real tight.
Gee. Thanks, Cora.
I got some downy material here from my traveling cloak.
Too late. I got it. Don't worry.
Well, you all have tufts of Cora cloth in your ears now. So mechanically, what I'll do is that this will give you advantage on any saving throws you have against the song because your ears are muffled out. It will also give you disadvantage on any perception checks that include hearing.
That's fair.
Makes sense.
Oh no! So instead of a 5, I'm going to roll a 2.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So with that, you proceed along the bridge and make your way to the next stillage. This stillage here is similar in appearance on the outside. The immediate balcony around, one heads directly to the right, to the east, across another 100-foot bridge to another stillage. There is another bridge that heads northwards to there's another bridge that heads northwards to a larger stilt.
I think larger is probably better. Might have more things inside, so let's head to the larger one.
Sorry, Vorkris, can't hear you.
North. Which one was the larger one? The north one that goes north.
The north. So you're at a new stillage at the moment, or stilt at the moment that you haven't gone inside. There are two other bridges that connect to this stilt. One heads northwards to a larger stilt. One heads eastwards to another stilt.
I suppose we could go downstairs and actually check out this one first. If we're going to be going across these things, we may as well see what's here.
Okay. So, you have a look inside this stilt. This one only has 3 floors to it. It looks like it was, once again, almost a penthouse of things. Like, each floor is dedicated to a single abode of living. Quite large, luxurious than what it was. The beds have since collapsed, been torn apart. Dust basically just makes the place a home of this now. The higher floor has a small little fountain in the centre of it. You can see pipes or variation of pipes connect to this fountain and kind of like spread out into the walls and beyond outside. Around this fountain are destroyed chairs, furnitures, bookshelves, and the like. There's just a lot of rubbish around this particular one on the higher floor.
Lismo would charge in, attacking all the inanimate objects he can see with his sword.
So over the course of the next 5
fountain's
minutes,
not operating.
the ruined room becomes even more ruined, as anything that looked like even had a semblance of structure around it is destroyed now because of Lisma.
Well done, Lisma. Thank you for protecting us from that broken bookshelf.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I got him this time.
I take it the fountain's not actually functioning in any way. It's just there. It's not still running with water.
There's some stagnant water in it, and there isn't a running water coming out of the centre of it, but you can see that there is something of a current in the most outer layer ring that connects to the pipes. It's a 3-layered ring. The centre ring and the top ring, stagnant water. The lower ring, flowing currenty water.
Can I have a look? See if I can work out why. I expect it either not to be working at all, or for them all to be working. If I have one layer working and the other's not, I'd like to try and find out why.
Chris, you shouldn't be trying to tidy up this place.
I'm not tidying anything. I'm examining this exciting fountain. Sorry, roll a watch. Sorry, Jack.
Investigation check, please.
And this was this the east?
I'm going to put my hand on you and guide you.
This is the north one.
Oh, well, fine.
Okay.
Never mind then.
There we go. Okay, so Chris, you can determine that the pipes are clear for the lower ring, which is why it is flowing. However, age and decay and moss has since blocked the inner tube where the fountain would come out, and since because there's been no interaction, no process of the water flowing from the center, the water that stayed at the top and the middle rings has just stagnated ever since then. However, you can determine inside the middle ring, in the stagnant water, there is a small little purple gem in there.
Yoink goes a small little purple gem. I shall pick it straight up and have a quick look at it.
It looks kind of like an opaque, lightish gem color. You recognise it as a rhodochrosite. It's a gemstone worth about 10 gold pieces on the open market.
Sweet.
For any of your spells.
Doesn't seem to have done anything. All is good. Sorry, I was typing away on the wrong keyboard, which was a keyboard attached to Screamy, so I was making sure I hadn't just stopped the recording.
Cora's just thinking what a good job her cloth is doing, preventing you from being able to hear her.
What?
What?
Hmm?
What?
Who?
For Chris! Because I'm right next to you. I'm going to slap you on the back.
I use message
Can
to
you
say yes.
use it for... Oh, can you use it for your spells? It's pretty. It's purple, and purple is good.
Would you like the pretty purple gem? I don't think I can use it for my spells. If you'd like it, you can have it.
No, I don't want it. I mean, my mom used to like stuff, but no, I just was hoping that it would be useful.
I take your hand and I place the gem in your hand.
Oh, I feel a little uncomfortable about this. I can put it in the bag of holding for us, and I'll open the bag of holding and I'll put it in the party loot. I just was hoping that maybe because I know that your magic is and I don't want to make you feel bad, so I'm struggling with what word I want to put.
Sorry to interrupt. An interesting tidbit. As you place the gem inside the bag of holding, you hear a clutter, like ding, 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 ding. You've never heard that from the bag of holding before.
I open it back up, but
it seems to be functioning correctly. Vorkris and Jobrix, you would logically assume that whatever is happening
the magic
to you
failing?
is also happening to your magical items.
I would relay this that it looks like this place is affecting all of the magic. So our items, our weapons, our spells, all of it.
it has not affected mine, or has it begun to affect mine? Because I get mine differently.
No, it's not affecting divine-based magic.
Okay, so just like obviously this bag of holding is different.
Yeah.
Can I reach into the bag of holding and see if I can pull it back out?
Yeah, it works fine. It's just you get the feeling the magic is beginning to fail, in the sense that, like, when you throw something in the bag of holding, it goes into its own little pocket dimension. Those pocket dimensions don't really interact with each other unless the magic was failing.
Oh, tadpoles. Something. Yeah, I just. Something's wrong with the bag. I thought that maybe this would be helpful for you, for your magic to make you stronger, but it sounds like, I don't know. Do you feel like we're going in the right direction? Does your magic feel?
I don't know. I was trying to think of some sort of plan I could do. I need like a long-lasting spell, but the longest one I have only lasts an hour, and I didn't practice it this morning when I woke up, so There's not really a way I can track this magic, but yes, we need to find whatever is causing this and hopefully stop it, or just get the fuck out of here. Because I don't want to be magicless in this place. That does not make me happy.
No.
Nor I.
Which? Oh, what does that say? We went to the northern one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then, quickly. Besides that one gem, there was nothing else in here that Lismer didn't bust up already.
You haven't looked.
Okay.
So we'll have a look around the room.
Yeah. You can go ahead and make it. Anyone can make an investigation check if they so please.
I will put the guidance back on you since you didn't need it before. And hope that because I'm guiding you, you also don't need it now.
19.
I'll get mine.
Ooh.
I will make my inspection check.
I am not used to being the good one at investigation. This is terrible, guys.
Agnes is generally pretty good, right?
I'm too busy humming that.
I mean, Joe Brooks is technically the same as me. He just rolled a nat 1.
Yeah. Nat
Mine
1's
is
always
Balancing out my nat 20.
always
He's
bad.
probably holding his sword ready for some inanimate objects to come at him.
Okay, so between Vorkrus and Agnes, given all 3 floors a thorough look over, the middle one is pretty much devoid of anything of any use. The top floor, you do actually find a small bag with 17 ancient gold pieces stuffed away underneath one of the broken bookcases that Lismer had destroyed. And on the lower floor, you find an interesting item. You don't think it's magical in any way, but it's a small little kind of what's the string of a fiddle sort of thing, but it's not made of wood; it's made of stone, and the strings seem to be made of like a silk of some kind.
So it's a shape of a fiddle, but stone with silk strings.
Yeah, so no, it's not the fiddle itself. It's the thing that goes across the fiddle. The stick,
okay. So
the
that's
bow.
stone with silk. Okay.
The bow.
yeah, the bow. It's a bow. It's made of stone, and the string itself is silk.
Does the silk look in reasonable condition?
I mean, better than nearly every item here, but in no shape of not pristine, shall we say? Nothing's pristine here.
Something's calling out to me about this, Cora, but we haven't really got time to look at it properly now. Can I chuck it in your bag? Good catch.
Agnes, do you play the stringy thing?
No, I'm much more of a blowy person.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Cora just lets that go because Cora doesn't understand. Oh,
Joe goes, what? What? What'd you say?
she said she blows things instead of, doing this.
I don't think you said what I think you said.
No, she likes to blow things like instead of this.
Yeah, what are you talking? I don't think you mean what you think you mean.
Later, people, come on.
I mean, Vorkrix, it just goes completely over your head. You have no idea. You don't understand the accurate.
I'm a very intelligent person. I'm just not interested in sex. I don't
He's read
understand
about
what
it
it
before.
is.
It goes straight over your head.
I've seen it in
Said to
books
me
and
on multiple
magazines.
occasions-
He has
No,
an
he
understanding of it.
This little thing is never interested in Vorkrix, therefore he's not educated. He doesn't know that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very true. But I do know that whatever we're discussing isn't important, and we need to find this source of magic block.
Oh, you don't know how
What?
babies are made?
What?
I give you the full scientific version of the egg gets fertilized. Blah, blah. Nothing about how it happens. Just
Pretty sure what you are saying, Cora, is not how babies are made.
This is true. So babies are not. It's how it happens to not be. But I think Joe should probably say, considering that this this noise and the nature of what's happening with the bag of holding, we may have to think about removing our items from it at some point, right?
Or working faster to get out of here.
Right? Yeah. Right.
Well, we don't really want to lose anything in there if anything goes wrong with it, do we? Should we distribute some of the more valuable stuff, or the stuff that we?
At some point, we'll have to make a priority list, I think.
Hold on. What happens to? Would it just become would all the stuff fall out?
Yeah, generally what happens if a bag of holding is no longer a bag of holding, all the stuff just sponges out of it.
Okay. Well, that's better than us not being able to get access to it.
Right, that's what I was afraid of, right.
So if it stops working as a bag, like I've got a big enough bag and I can carry a lot of stuff, it'll be a little heavier. I might move a little slower. But yeah, I mean, we don't want to stick around and have to deal with that, but I think we'll be okay if it happens.
We'll need to work fast then.
All right then. So, which bridge would you like to cross now? The one to the east or the one to the north?
The northern one was a bigger one, correct?
That's right. It goes through a bigger stage.
I think bigger because in my head, bigger things contain more things, and maybe we can find a clue to what's draining all this magic shit.
And so I kind of asked, but I don't know if Jack would obviously be the one that gives the answer. They haven't noticed like any more rapid depletion of their magical senses or slowing of their. It's just been the same level of whatever's happening throughout. Okay.
Do we still have what's he called? Digit 3000, 2000, or whatever it was, that thing.
He went down with
right.
Kerry.
Okay.
Oh shucks.
I was going to use him as a.
Because I was thinking about that earlier today, actually. So where did he go? Oh, he was inside Kerry's clothes. Yeah.
That's what he gets for being a perv.
Yep.
Yep. What were we thinking, guys? Were we thinking north?
Yeah, north of the big one, and we'll have a look. We'll investigate that one. But I think we need to hurry this up. We can't spend like an hour on each one. I don't know how long we have to spend on that, but you know.
Right, so you make your way over across the bridge to the northern one. Can I get perception checks at disadvantage from everyone, please?
I'm gonna guide Agnes. I think she said she had to be right back.
She did, but I'm multitasking.
Right. You got a D4 to that, baby girl.
Okay. So Vorkus, Zurich, and Jobrix. Due to the cotton stuffed in your ears, you are blissfully unaware of any possible dangers around you. Cora, Lisma, and Agnes, you feel a small tingling sensation. If that, you feel like something. You know when that sensation when someone's like touching the tips of your hair on your head, you feel that, and you sort of rub your head and just like this small little dust particles in it, and you look up. To see there is a large stalactite above there, and there are 3 harpies up there that are currently wiggling it out of place. And you recognise one of the harpies. It's the one that had already sung the song. They're not going to be doing it. So you guys basically can react to this. They failed their stealth versus your perceptions to do that. So they
How far away are they?
They're about a good 120 feet up at the moment.
Cool. I would definitely just draw my longbow and fire an arrow at them. Well, 2 arrows. I'll just do 2d2 straight away, just because I get 2 attacks.
Hit and hit. Both of them hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 9. 18. Okay, so 2 arrows fly up and hit into one of the harpies, who immediately screeches out in pain and begins flying away. The other 2 continue on what they're doing. What do the rest of you do?
I'm going to shout up to one of them and say, "Oi! We are a powerful fucking party, so I suggest you fuck off and tell your friends to leave us all alone." And I cast a gesture.
Wisdom saving throw from the harpy then.
Indeed.
They're a little wise, not particularly wise. 12.
Is a fail.
One of the harpies just goes, "Ah!" and just flies away. The remaining one is looking desperate as she's trying to wiggle this stalactite out of place. This is the one that did the song on you previously.
Ha
What are the rest of you do? The ones who haven't taken actions yet.
So I don't. Joe Pricks doesn't, because I failed my perception. I don't get an action, right?
That's. Yeah. I'll let.
If that's the case, I also failed mine. Most definitely.
No, because I'd have assumed that everyone around you was like looking up,
okay.
like pointing.
Okay.
So.
Good call. Good call. Okay. Give me half a second because I didn't think I had a turn to do anything.
You said it's 120 feet up?
Yes.
Okay.
Looks like what this particular stalagmite is connected to one of the stilts, the stilt that's ahead of you. That is like you can see that the ceiling lowers a little bit to connect to this larger stilt. So this is one of those. It's on the cusp or on the border between rock and stilt that the stalactite is. What are you doing, Joe Pricks?
I think I'm going to cast a web.
A web?
On the... Yeah.
Alright, and they'll make a dexterity saving throw then. 9.
That's a fail.
So, web expunges around the harpy and sticks her to the side of the stalactites, so she is pinned and restrained. She's trying to struggle against it. Anybody else who hasn't taken a turn yet, you're more than welcome to. She is restrained at the moment.
I know that she's well out of range of anything I can do, so I'm just going to continue to hum the song that I could hear previously.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't have range to do that.
Okay. So
cannot
we'll
do that. Thank you. I think I would just firebolt it to try and get it to just get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, we'll keep the same dexterity saving throw. Go ahead and roll firebolt damage. Or firebolt or fireball?
No, firebolt. No, it would be an attack roll.
Yeah, go and make an attack roll. Yeah. That is a hit. She's scorched. And with that, she would fly away. And the stalactite remains in place.
Okay.
Can I, after we get out from underneath this particular one, look up to see if there are any other stalactites, and if they look like they are loose or wiggly or anything like that?
There are other stalactites, but none that actually hang over a bridge. Looks like this is the only one in your immediate eyesight.
Okay.
All right. So you're able to cross the bridge and make your way to the new stillage. Now, this one is a little wider. It connects to 2 other stilts. Well, sorry, 3 other stilts. As you sort of take the perimeter on it, there is one that immediately heads to the east to another stilt that is a little bit bigger. There's one that heads towards the north, which is also a bigger one. There is also a diamond-shaped stilt. So whereas the other ones, they're wide at the ceiling and then they sort of shorten down in the middle, this one is wider in the middle but connects to the top and to a bottom set of bedrock. So it's basically kind of a diamond shape stilt connected to the top and the bottom. And now that you're closer to it, you get the feeling that it is spinning very, very slowly, and each four corners each four walls of this diamond-shaped stilt has waterfalls coming out of it. So it's got water coming out of all four sides of it.
Which spot is this interesting stilt? Is it between the other two?
Yes. So actually, just make a quick perception check for me, please, Joe Briggs.
Sure. Disadvantage still?
No, this one is to do with sight.
Okay. There you go.
Good. Okay. So in this mini area, because this particular stilt is, you're able to see around it a little better. You can see that there is a fourth wider stilt on the opposite side to you. So it looks like there are four stilts that are wider, connected on the corners of this diamond, which is in the center of all of them. And there are four bridges from each stilt that connect to the center one. And then there are bridges that connect to the outsides of each stilt around it. So a square, so four stilts on the corners with a diamond one in the center.
Okay, and that kind of conglomeration, that's kind of, is that positioned maybe northeast, or is it on the far west of it?
It's positioned on the northeast.
Northeast. Okay.
And you get the feeling that the bridges that connect to this one are only available for a brief period of time. You don't know how the interval is time, but considering how fast it's spinning, you're pretty intelligent, Jerry, because you think that for about 5 minutes every hour, the bridges connect. Because obviously the center one is spinning very slowly.
I mean, I want to get inside that middle one. It's got to be our goal. There's got to be something in there.
Could you send McGonagall over?
I could definitely send McGonagall over while we wait for this 5-minute window. McGonagall, my good friend, go see what's in that little room over there for us.
Is it possible to guide McGonagall?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, guys. Before we have McGonagall's take his perception check, let's take a quick toilet break there, and we'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay?
Roger, Roger. Danke, danke.
No worries.
What is a puppy girl? No, I don't appreciate it.
So how to erase? I want to erase that circle.
This circle?
Yeah. And all the little ones too.
Okay.
You
Click.
just click it and then delete.
Yes.
Okay.
Kellen? You entered the password.
Thank you.
You entered the password. You went
And gained
into
entrance to the secrets.
and you started. Come here.
I wonder if we can speed up that thing to make it go quicker.
I mean, I still have the hat with the gust of wind on it. So if there's a
work.
way that we could like push it.
That might work.
However, how we slow it down, I don't know.
Do we need to
we might.
slow it down or speed it up?
Well, in theory, we could speed it up, but then we have to slow it down in enough time to stop it so that it's slower, so we can all get in.
Maybe McGonagall's will find a handy little stop and sync up button inside.
Oh. I miss having the fly spell.
I was just thinking that would be very helpful right now, but instead I can do nothing useful. I am definitely just some dark arts bastard that can't do anything handy. Although I'm a wizard, so I can learn fly at some point if someone else knows fly, or I can find fly. I shall copy it into my book, although we've still got to find a source of paper in this goddamn world. I found a source of ink, but not paper.
Did I miss much?
Nothing
We
at
all
all.
died. We're just thinking about what new characters to make.
I am Morcris, a dragonborn wizard.
Morcris.
Have you seen?
Now I am Morcris, a dragonborn.
Yeah. Have you seen the Viva La Dirt?
Yeah,
Targaryen.
that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, that's what I thought.
I'm his twin brother.
Yeah. I
He's
will
got like
avenge
17
him.
twin brothers.
That's funny.
I actually think that's my most successful attack on anything ever.
Nice.
Never know what the point of a yogurt like that big is. It's like a spoonful and it's gone.
It's posh yogurt.
It's a shot in it.
The point of a posh food is not to eat it, it is to be seen eating it.
No. I enjoy eating food. I couldn't care if people see me eat it or not. That's why I had two of them.
Oh yeah, so Lee, I am going to be in Chester next month. Did I already talk to you about this?
Yeah, you said something about you down in Chester in April, depending on what day. I think I'm away on my honeymoon as well.
Well, that's the thing. I'll be there for the weekend, I believe, or it might be the day. I think I'm going. Actually, no. So I'm going to be in Chester on Monday, but I think I'm coming down on Sunday evening. We'll be staying in a hotel overnight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's Monday the 11th. I think it is. Yeah, because that's when my sister's having her wedding on the 11th. So we'll be in Chester on the 10th and the 11th.
I'll check with the wife to see what day we're supposed to be going away and stuff.
I think you should cancel the honeymoon. Seems reasonable.
You tell her that. I don't really want to go.
I mean, I will. I have nothing to lose by telling your wife something.
Is this when we have to find another player because Lee got killed in real life?
I've been murdered.
And it was all my fault.
Oh, she'll be coming for you next.
I've got Ellie to protect me.
All right.
Ellie will likely sell your location to her for profit.
No, she loves me too much.
All right. Make it look like a murder, and I'll think about it.
You're supposed to make it look like a suicide, you maniac. You don't make it look like a murder. It is a murder.
No. Life insurance doesn't pay out if it looks like a suicide.
Happy life insurance.
Make it as messy as possible.
I thought
about it.
I thought it's only suicide within the first 2 years to stop them con.
Yes, actually, you're right. Because I just recently got life insurance. They tell me I'm not allowed to kill myself within the next 2 years. Oh, so after that, I'm allowed to kill myself. And they said, yeah.
I thought it was banned for life. Like, not banned for life.
No,
It was always exempt from insurance. Because
I
that just seems like a win-win. I'm just like, yeah, I'm fed up. I'm
Does depend who you go
have
with.
some cash.
Does depend who you go with, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So out of these 4 stillages, and so it's 4 stilts and the center diamond one, you would be in the southwest one, or the lower left.
Roger.
So you're on the outskirts on the balcony at the moment, seeing everything within you. You see the 2 bridges that connect to you, and then there's the inside of the stilt as well, but you haven't gone inside yet.
So we would know that to go to one of the stilts either side of us would help the bridges match up quicker?
No, so there are permanent bridges which connect all of the 4 corners. So you can go, basically you can go right and go up, and that's always going to be there. It's the spinny diamond one, the basic ones that are in the corners that go diagonal.
Right,
They only connect for about 5 minutes once every hour.
Okie doke.
So this drawing doesn't
Probably
look
not.
right.
No. So I'm not entirely sure. Can somebody else draw it if they understand what he's describing?
I do. Can we work out how long it would take until this 5 minutes comes around again?
Probably another 20 minutes or so.
Cool.
So I would say, with the drawing that you have at the moment...
So the 2 blue lines are the permanent ones?
That's right, yeah.
So then this whole big thing here is not
That's
how
the
that
diamonds. So if I were... So to make it more realistic, if I shorten that one to a square like that. Bloody hell, come on, move it there, and then there's another one that you saw that is over there.
Gotcha.
And then that diamond one is like square in the middle.
All right, so then the bridges connect from here to here, and then here to there, there to there, there to there.
That's right, yeah.
And then the bridges leading into that diamond only connect once, like per. Yeah. Okay.
That's
got
right.
it.
Yeah.
So Chet, you just need to delete all these little squares in this line thing there.
Well, I still can't delete them.
Yes, it's okay. You're fine. You can.
Okay. So, what would you like to do?
Send McGonagall over to the centre while trying to work out how long before the bridges line up.
All right. So it only takes McGonagall about 6-10 minutes to fly over. Can he make a stealth check for me, please?
I can, because he is very stealthy. Oh, he's
got guidance.
He does have guidance.
Okay,
14.
so that does beat the Harpies' passive perceptions. So McGonagall is small enough to fly across that they don't notice him. So he's able to get all the way across to the closest door. There appears to be 4 doorways inside this diamond structure that spin with it. Are you seeing through his eyes, Forcus?
Yes, I will be.
Okay. So I want you to just make a perception... No, make an investigation check, please.
So as me or as...
As yourself, because you are looking through McGonagall's eyes, so you're discerning with your mind what you're seeing.
Perfect. So I was hoping you were going to say. Roll20 decided to change tabs on my sheet remarkably slowly. There we go. Well, I'm so glad that I loaded up the +7.
So it's difficult to tell without getting over to take a proper look, but the doorway or doorways in appear to be sealed by large stone slabs. There is artwork on the front of those slabs that depict a bluish-like orb of some sort. It has like fog that resonates around it, and what appears to be war tendrils or whips or something like that of an aquatic nature, sort of like sprout out from behind it and all, like go into wrap around it.
Okay, look, I'll bring McGonagall's back to me, and I'll pass it on to the rest of the party, and I'll say I still don't quite know what's in there, but I feel a big glowing magical blue orb thing, and us losing magic. I don't think those two things are unrelated, so I want to get in there.
Well,
so do we know how long it is? We'll have to wait. Sorry.
Well, if McGonagall's just did probably another 10 minutes or so before the bridges connect.
When they connect, how long do they stay connected?
You theorize maybe about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Judging by how long it took McGonagall to get over there, do we think that we could cross those bridges in 5 minutes? Although I suppose once we're on the bridges, we'd be on the bridges.
If you run,
okay.
You could probably cross it, like because the connection meets halfway. So like there's a permanent bridge, like it goes halfway out, and then the two bridges connect halfway across the chasm for about 5 minutes.
So I'm like, yeah, let's head out to the connecting bit and like stop just before the edge, and then as soon as it joins, we can dash across.
Okay. So the party makes their way out onto the connector bridge and wait for the bridges to connect.
I'll be keeping an eye out for harpies while we're here in this mildly exposed position.
Go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage then, please.
Yeah, because this will go well. How do I roll better on disadvantage perception with a +2 than I do on standard investigation with a +7?
I don't know. Okay. Vorkris, your perception somehow you notice the flapping of wings in one of the stilts. And you see 3 harpies are flying at speed towards you.
I will shout out, you obviously didn't get the message from where the harpy, and I'll chuck a firebolt their way. Just in, like, not even deliberately aiming at them, just like towards them, as in a, I can see you, fuck off kind of thing.
Go make an intimidation check if you're not aiming to hit them.
I should have aimed to hit them.
Is your cloak billowing?
The firebolt zooms past them, however, they keep on flying towards you. They'll be on you in about 10-12 seconds.
I'll obviously shout out to everyone, look, harpies! And then I'll shoot another firebolt, this time aiming for the one at the front.
Make a ranged spell attack, please. That's it, roll damage. One of them falls out of the air and into the chasm below.
I would definitely fire a couple of arrows.
Yeah, I do a firebolt too.
Can make a ranged spell attack, please. That is just a hit, Lisma, and that is a hit. That is a hit. So, the second one gets pummeled with arrows and fire. She spins and begins coursing downwards. The second one courses upwards, and she begins to sing. Can everybody make wisdom saving throws at advantage, please? No one can really hear it, except Agnes. You just happen to take your cloth out at the time just to sort of scratch your ear, and you just catch the height of the song, and you're like, oh, wow. And you feel compelled to move towards it. You begin walking towards the edge of the bridge. What else do you do?
I say to everyone else, I'm almost tempted to leave her. Maybe she'll understand what good music is and stop playing those fucking bagpipes.
We just pull on the rope. And
I was going to say, can I pick her up?
Yep. Make an opposed athletics.
I'm just saying, Zurich, this is a chance for revenge.
Oh my god.
Got cursed dealing with these fucking harpies.
It literally doesn't even make sense. There's mechanically, this is dumb. It's so dumb. It's like saying that my 4-year-old, I just can't pick her up. I don't understand.
Despite that, you rolled lower. Or rolled a natural one. So
leave it.
What happens is a mismatch of just the fuck sort of thing, even to the point that the harpy is momentarily confused as Agnes is walking forward and is pretty much tripped up by Cora, who stumbles over her own feet trying to grab Agnes, slips through Agnes's fingers. Agnes is kind of pretty much knocked prone, really, and you're both just sort of like on the ground there thinking, what the hell just happened? But Agnes, you get to your feet and continue on your path towards, a short drop and a sudden stop.
I think Joe should just say Zurich.
So while we are tangled on top of one another after we both fell, can I reach and cover her ears?
Yes, but she's already under the sway. So
I just don't know that Cora would know whether or not obscuring the sound afterwards would help or not.
Make another athletics check, please. Agnes, can I get an acrobatics check from you, please? Yeah, no, unfortunately, Agnes is too quick on her feet for you to, a big gal like you. It just, lunges and lumbers, but she's too quick and she's out of your reach before you can cover her ears.
All right. Well, she can't go that far because she is tied to me, so.
That's right.
There's that.
So what are the rest of you doing?
going to plant my feet, keep hold the rope tight, so if she does go off, then I can pull back and hopefully keep up.
Okay. All right. So you're preparing to, like, brace yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. For Chris Tropics, Lisma.
I will cast Magic Missile and send 2 at the Harpy and 1 at the back of Bloody Agnes's head.
All right.
There you go.
Roll 3d4 plus 2d4 plus 2 and 1d4 plus 1. Oh, maximum damage on the Harpy. Nice.
A minimum damage on Agnes. If that's not the perfect combination.
Perfect. Well done. Okay, so the Harpy takes the damage. She stumbles in her flight for momentarily. Agnes, you take 2 points of force damage. You can repeat your saving throw.
Is it at disadvantage because Cora's got her hands over my ears?
No. You were too fast for that. So, but you still have advantage because you still have got the cotton things in your ear at the moment, ish. That is a save. And with that, with the being hit in the back of the head with a magic missile, you come to your senses and you no longer are under the sway of the song.
Who did that?
What can I say except you're welcome?
I point right at Vorkris.
The Harpy, noticing that none of you are under her sway anymore, she will fly off in retreat.
Yeah, you better run.
As she's flying away, out of annoyance, I'll just go fire an arrow at her.
Go right ahead, make an attack roll. That is actually a miss. Goes past her, and you see the arrow disappear into the chasm.
Mom, where is it?
How far away is she?
About. She's getting quite close to you. She's got a relatively high fly speed. I put her at 130 feet as of right now.
Okay, I'll definitely take the second one then. Oh god.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's too quick.
So
you see your 2 arrows just disappear into the chasm below.
I would. They would be at disadvantage because she's too far away. But I would use my crossbow and try 1, and then 7 misses her.
Yeah. With that,
I think Cora's just going to sit here.
She flutters and disappears behind one of the nearest stilts. So, you guys wait a few more minutes before the bridge comes to a point where you can comfortably step onto it. And you're able to cross the bridge to connect to the center diamond-shaped stilt. You walk across the bridge, get into the other side. Now, the immediate entrance to this particular doorway is like fluttered with like wild flowers and greenery and the like, and there's a healthy amount of life or nature on the immediate outside of this. You can see now up close that stone slab that clearly bars a square doorway with the depiction of the bluish orb with the tendrils of aquatic form sort of reaching out around it, and the bluish mist.
I think we need to get in there.
Do you feel any different? Like your magic? Do you feel any different being closer to whatever this is?
Do we feel any different, Jack?
No, you don't feel any different. You get the feeling that this is just an equal amount of presence everywhere.
Okay. So let's I'll have a proper check of this door, checking every section of it, seeing if there's like an easy way to open it, if there's some sort of puzzle or secret.
Make another investigation check, please.
Disadvantage. 24.
There you go.
Okay, so you can definitely determine that this door or this doorway, this slab, is mechanically sealed. The means to open it is not readily visible on this side.
God damn it.
Did we get a key in the table room?
Not that I remember.
No, I don't think so.
We got the map.
Oh yeah, you got the mystery key.
Yeah.
We got a mystery key.
Looks like a key.
Okay. Like looking at the map that we got from that first room, can we work out what this room is? Is this room that we're at now, is that on the map that we found in the...
Yes. This is... sort of putting the dots together, you're able to determine that this is... Sorry, bear with me just a moment. Notes up. This location is known as the Stilter Crystal.
What was it called? The Stilt Crystal?
The Stilter Crystal.
Stilter.
The crystal that stilters magic. But okay, so there's not a way to open the door from this side. Can I send McGonagall flying around the outside of this spinning room, seeing if there's any entrance that's open?
Yeah. Have him do a perception check for me, please.
14.
Nothing beyond where the waterfalls expunge out. So you could try make your way through where the waterfalls come out. It could be quite dangerous, and if you lost your footing, you'd obviously follow where the water goes, and you'd have to fight against the water pressure the entire time.
I mean, if McGonagall loses footing, I'd summon him back to me. So McGonagall will definitely try and squeeze through the waterfall thing.
Well, it's wide enough for him to go through, but he'd have to go start swimming in there. So you'd have to swim against the current to get through.
I'm sure flying dragons have got a great swim speed.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check for McGonagall, please, or McGonagall.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
look, he rolls like Tora.
He dive bombs in there and gets shot out like a Nerf gun.
I'd bump him out and bump him back onto my shoulder and say, "Well done for trying, little boy. Well done."
He's shaking a little.
I'm sorry I made you do that. I'm sorry. We really need to get in there, but yes, maybe this is not the way.
But nothing else on the other walls except pouring waterfall.
From what McGonagall saw, no.
Okay.
This door, does it look like that? Like it would be opened by a key?
You don't see any key slots on this side. As Forcus has determined, this is operated mechanically, so there's no arcane feature about it. There, it is locked. There must be an unlocking mechanism somewhere
on the other side of the door.
You remember how there was that switch hidden in the wall that McGonagall found that opened the place for the New Order when they left us?
Well, that's what I was hoping I'd find in the door, but it all seems fairly solid.
So you said that there's foliage, right? Like there's a bunch of...
Yeah, there's nature, bushes, flowers growing in, and maybe outcropping around you. So there's a 30-foot semicircle radius outside the door where it's where you can sort of walk around comfortably on instead of being limited to the bridge where there is foliage growing.
So because it was hidden in like a wall of like ivy, the other switch, I think Cora's going to want to start to look around to see if there are any hidden switches or anything.
Go ahead and make a perception. An investigation check, please.
Oh, you sure you don't want perception?
I think Joker should want to be doing this too.
Yeah, unfortunately, because you are sifting for a very specific thing. You go across them, and then you stop at one of the bluish flowers, and it's very pretty. You give it a sniff, and you just kind of forget what you're looking for a hot few seconds. Just enjoying.
Awesome. Well, then,
slap Cora on the back of the head. Focus. Stop sniffing the flowers.
Well, wait. Nature or survival-wise, does this flower look like it would be useful to me now that I've distracted myself with it?
If you wanted to pick it and give it to somebody you cared about as a token of affection, sure.
Okay, so like medicine-wise, because you know that's what I've been looking for. I'm not looking to pick it and give it to somebody.
Medicine-wise, you go ahead and make a nature check on it.
It could heal a broken heart.
Well, then I eat it.
You do not determine it has any viable properties to be utilized beyond gift giving.
Just being pretty. Okay. Well, then I would leave it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Vorkris. But maybe you remember, right? Maybe it's here. The flowers are really pretty, though. Maybe I should leave that to somebody else. If you can think of another way I can be helpful.
Can Joe Brooks continue the search? I want to cast like light on my wand and use it and use the other hand to sift through the foliage.
Go ahead and make an investigation check, please, Joe.
Thank you.
You have a look around. You do not find any. You do not find any mechanisms. You do, however, find a harpy's claw. Seems to be as soon as it's been shedded or, ripped off.
Great.
Like it's just like the nail claw part of the harpy.
Yeah. I guess
might have some properties.
I'll put it in my pocket, but continue to look, I guess. But
I would like to go up to the door and just put my hands on the door.
There is a rough, coarse feeling towards it. It is definitively cold and a bit damp, actually. Yes.
Guys, should this door go bang?
Fire in the hole! And I dive on the floor.
What?
Cora, floor.
Floor.
Ducks.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Floor.
Up to the floor.
get down.
Get down.
I'm going to cast shatter on the door.
All right.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll damage for it, please.
I've clicked on it twice. I think it's just roll 20 decided to be a bit crap.
It's 3d8.
There it is.
11 thunder damage. Okay, so an echoey blast shoots out in about a 300-foot radius. If I remember correctly. Shut up.
That's loud.
It doesn't say that. That's thunder wave.
No,
It just
I was thinking of thunder wave. So a loud ringing noise erupts. Let's create a loud noise, just not as loud as the thunder wave noise. And you can see cracks sort of appear in the slab itself.
Is there any part of the crack that goes through the door, can I see any pinprick of light or anything on the other side of the door?
No, but with what Agnes has done, you are able to determine that this slab is a good 6 feet deep, at least.
Ooh, that's a big slab.
I think we might
Agnes,
have to.
I was just gonna say, Agnes, did you look around to see if you? Because I know back in the New Order hideout, you were really good at finding things. Did you see if there was maybe?
No,
something?
I just got bored of you lot looking, so just decided I'd just make.
Oh,
things
maybe you
happen.
could look, and I will stand next to you with my warm, radiant presence and guide you, and hope that you look and find it.
I will reluctantly look around and see and have a look and see if.
Don't reluctantly, please enthusiastically look.
Make an investigation check, please, Agnes. You have a D4 to add to that as well.
13.
So, 13. You find those pretty flowers, but that's it.
Joe Prick's is going to say to Xeric, I have a good feeling about you right now, and I'm going to give him my portent, although maybe not like overtly, but like kind of like put my hand on him and say, why don't you give it a shot and give him the 19?
Yeah, sure thing, boss.
All right. Well, what's your Well, go ahead and roll just to see if you have a natural 20.
Highly unlikely.
In which case, that natural 20 will be taken away from you. No. So you obviously roll a 19. You have a +3 to that, so that brings it to 21. All right. So you sift through the immediate vicinity on the outside of this doorway. You are able to quite safely determine, Xeric, that the means to open this door is not in that immediate entrance area.
Pretty sure we're looking in the wrong place here.
I think we're going to check these rooms around it.
Fair enough.
Around again.
That'd be my best guess.
Okay.
That was very helpful of you, though.
I think it's very important that we get into this room.
I definitely agree.
So, you guys can take a short rest if you want, because you spent a good 5-10-ish minutes searching the immediate vicinity that the bridge has already gone and come past. So you'd have to wait pretty much an hour for it to come back again.
Did not think this through.
I mean, is anyone actually hurt?
Good. But does anyone need any weapons looked after or something? Like, should we just...
Vorkris, while we're here, maybe you can look at that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I will ritual cast Identify on the weird stone and ribbon bow thing.
I don't need anything with.
There's nothing magical about it. It appears just to be just an interesting item.
Maybe we can sell it to someone for something useful.
Find someone stupid and we can just tell them it's interesting, more interesting than it is. Stupid and rich would be good.
Right.
How far?
Lisma, have you seen this? It looks very interesting. Would you like to buy it?
I said and rich. To be fair, I have average intelligence.
I love that you don't argue. You should say and rich. Fair.
You just tell them that it's magical, and then
yeah, this will help you do magic.
How far did you say it is from like where we are right now to back to at least the other side of the bridge that's permanent?
Well, it's because if you went all the way to the end of your rotating bridge, because of the current time frame, I'd probably chalk it up at about 200 feet, maybe, or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because obviously it's a pretty wide open area. Yeah, so unless you guys can creatively think of a way to cross before they align. You guys basically sit around for the better part of an hour, really, until the bridges connect again. Now, your particular bridge will now connect with the southeast one, as they're going in a counterclockwise formation.
For some reason, I just assumed they were going in a clockwise thing, and that really confused me. But yes, okay. So off we jump.
So hop, you're able to get onto the other side, make your way down across the bridge towards now the southeast stilt.
So we...
you will notice that this particular stilt does have another bridge towards it. It connects to a stilt that is south from you, and so there is another bridge that goes south that connects to another stilt.
From here to, like, that one? The one that had 3 floors was over here. I don't know if it's or if there's a second one.
Yes, so it will connect down to a stilt that was basically connected to that stilt. So.
Okay. Yeah, just like that. Do you guys want... I don't really love splitting up, but I mean, it takes a long time for that thing to come back. Do you want to see if there's anything like we could... I don't know.
Investigate all these towers simultaneously? Is that what you mean?
I don't know what I mean. I've not been very useful, and I feel like you guys are having your magic zapped, and I'm having my brain cells zapped, my strength zapped, and everything else zapped. It's almost like if I were to roll dice, I would get ones every time. I don't know.
No, my wonderful magic is going.
Lismer, your magic is going too.
I was just starting to get good.
I think it's probably.
What are you doing, Jack?
I saw that.
I was just making sure it was empty. That's all.
Yeah,
Cora's not. That's all.
Cora's not confident in any of her ideas right now, so she doesn't know. She was suggesting splitting up. We're here right now. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But we're at this one, right?
Yes.
We got a bridge that connects there. How long did you say it takes to get from, one stilt to the other stilt?
Oh, better part of about... if you're moving fast, 5 minutes.
Okay, so by the time it swings back around again, we should be able to check everything out.
Yeah,
So, the way I'm saying is each side of this diamond has a path coming off it. It's just It takes an hour to go from each corner. This is what me and Ellie were just trying to work out and discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a good proper search of this little stilt that we're in, because there's got to be a way into that centre thing, and it's presumably going to be in one of these 4 surrounding rooms.
That's the one we've already checked. This one, isn't it?
Yeah. And we are now at the one that Agnes has put a token on, so we can try and keep track of it.
I think we should split and check them all at the same time.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, we're not far away from each other.
If we'd found anything in the first room, I'd agree. If it looked like it was something we all have to do together, but we didn't really find anything in the first room, so we may as well at least search them together. And if we do need to, we can.
Check the inside of that one, just so you know, you didn't check the inside of that one.
Did we
The one
not?
that we were in?
Well, that's where we came through, didn't we?
No. You were there. Yeah, you were there. You crossed the bridge to there, and then you saw everything along there, and then you immediately went on the bridge to the centre.
Right, okay.
That's what you did.
Then yes, I'm actually all for Joe Brix's plan that we all take a corner, and so I'll start heading over to the opposite corner to Agnes. Well, I know we're all there.
So
but...
just to clarify, it takes an hour for us to be able to go back in, and if it only takes 5 minutes to get from here, back there,
Yeah.
How long do you think would it take to investigate each room? Because that's only 20 minutes. That would leave us 40 minutes to actually investigate, so we wouldn't have to split up.
Each room could potentially be different.
So if we did like a 10-minute glance over each room, and if we seen something we thought was interesting or of note, we'd stop there longer. Do you think that makes more sense if we just stick together and then go work around?
Well, I don't know. I guess, because when it connects, all of the bridges will connect. So if we took our time and 3 of us went one way and 3 of us went another way, we could do 2 rooms each. Unless, of course, you thought it was something potentially in that one, then some of us would have to go back there too. But
my concern is obviously with the harpies floating around, we're going to be better off together and supporting each other if we need it.
That's my concern as well.
Well, let's stay together for now and see how quickly we can get through these.
All right. So for clarification, the room that Agnes is in right now, we thoroughly investigated as best as we can with our rolls.
Group investigation check, please. As you immediately move on the inside, you notice that it's not a multi-floored stilt, this one. It's just a large interior. The very centre of the interior is almost like a kind of a mini ziggurat level of things. There are 4 stairways that lead upwards into a central plateau. In the centre of that plateau is a dial of some kind that glows blue. There are smaller-esque rooms scattered about, like small box cubicles, just scattered around on the outskirts and the centre. Well, it's not the centre, but like the midsection of the interior of the room. Yeah, that's the general description of the room as you move in. You guys proceed to investigate the immediate thing. Zurich, you can locate an ancient scimitar in one of the rooms. Doesn't appear to have any magical properties about it, but it has certainly got a very interesting design that sort of sets it aside from other such weapons you've seen before. This is the first weapon you've found inside Greyhelm.
So it doesn't look like... It looks like it more be like a ceremonial piece or something like that, or...
I mean, it's practical. It can still be used. It's just not of high quality at the moment because of its age. But its design is different. It's the blade itself actually has a hole in it, like a curved hole in the center of the blade. So kind of like similar to when you guys went down that long path. There was a hole down the middle that separated the 2 paths. If they can join at the top to create, a tip or so, there'd be a hole in the middle of it all, where the base would be. So that's kind of the blade, really. It's kind of like 2 blades at the hilt that go up and then connect at the tip, and there's a hole in the middle of it, which is not a it's not a very functional design in terms of blade sustainability. Like, that. But it's interesting to say the least.
Did it, just because he wasn't here and I was Xeric then, and up close and personal with the suit of armor that was swinging a sword at me, did it look like it was akin to that kind of design?
No, the weapons that those armors used were standard weapons.
Okay.
It quite rusted, actually. On their death, the weapons actually shattered into rust. So.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it's any use to any of you, and then just obviously pass it out to the party. I can't.
Well,
there's nothing in this room that looks like it would fit inside, or interact with in any way.
I'll get onto that. So that was the very first thing that you found with the natural 20. Beyond that, Agnes and Xeric will also locate in the rooms around this place 2 turquoises, kind of just they're placed on very small altars, where any depictions of any god or deity or leader or anything like that has long since been faded in time. The only thing that kind of remained was like a basin with the little gemstones inside of them. Turquoises are worth about 10 gold pieces on the open market. And then, massively, really the thing that glares out to any kind of investigation is this dial, this pedestal that is at the top of the mini ziggurat that is glowing blue. Moving up to it, you can see a number of faded out dials, weather worn and completely, but the only thing that remains of any, structure about it is a blue button in the center. This is what's giving off the light.
A blue button.
Push it.
It's like a
somebody push it.
It's like the size of your face. So you could put your whole hand on it, and you would cover a part of it. It's like it's spherical in nature. It's very smooth, and it looks like it can be pushed inwards.
Push it.
Anybody
if no one else pushes it, I push it.
Okay. So focus. You go up to it and you push it in. As you push it in, the glow about it stops being blue and turns to orange.
Does it remind me? Does it remind me of the things that the abandoned generated out of in the?
Yes, functionability.
That's what it made me think of.
Okay.
I would like to send McGonagall back into the centre to circle around it again to see if anything has changed, anything looks different to it did before.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes McGonagall about 10 minutes or so. Looking through his eyes, Vorkus, you can see that the stone slab over here, on that side of the diamond, has opened.
Is that the far side from us now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this is good. How long that stays open for, who knows?
I'm assuming you still have your hand on the button, so you know.
I do indeed. I let go of the button while I'm looking through McGonagall's eyes.
All right. Well, as you're looking through McGonagall's eyes, the button comes out and turns blue again.
Is there anything heavy in the room? Like a
Did
little brick
did
or
the slab close?
Did the slab close?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to look around the room for like a brick, a boulder, a stone, or a plate, or just anything that looks like it's got some weight to it.
There's debris, definitely.
I pick up the biggest bit of debris I can find and place it on top of the blue button.
It puts it on there and then slides off because it's at a slant. Like
God
you don't push
damn
it,
these
you don't push it down,
mechanical
like you push it
geniuses!
inwards.
I can stay here and hold it while you guys go in.
Well, I think we should be because we're going to have to wait so long for that door to come round to a room we can use anyway. Why don't we, for now, check these other rooms out? They might all have plinths. Maybe if we push them all at the same time, it does something. Maybe there's so many possibilities. But yes, worst case scenario, we will. I'll make McGonagall stay here and push it while we all run in. All is good.
Question. Sorry, I think it's just hard for me to visualize. So it's going to turn. All four bridges are going to connect, but the door will only open on, let's say, like this side. But we could press it from here. In the meantime, we could go here, and then get back in this way. Yes?
Yep, so long as apparently somebody is continuing to push that button where you currently are.
How high up is the button? Like
The mini ziggurat.
Yeah.
So the little pedestal is only about 4 feet up or so from the floor. It shoots upwards on a finish kind of like only about 2 foot in radius kind of, spine, if it were, and then it creates a large rectangular-like slab that is slanted at like 45 degrees, where the other buttons have since sort of faded away. The only thing that remains is that bluish button that you sort of push away from you inwards at like a 45 degree downward angle.
So, because I think
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
In theory, if we had that same piece of debris that Vorkris had, tied some rope to it and got a counterweight, put it on it and threw it over the back of it, it would stay on.
I can't say I know enough about I can't say I know enough about physics to know if that would work or not.
As much as I love the ingenuity, maybe we should just check the other rooms before we try making a complicated plan that may not be needed.
Well, I was just thinking, if we can hold that on like that, by the time we get to the other thing, we can just walk through then.
I mean, worst case, McGonagall can push it.
I have a familiar as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So am I under the wrong? I thought there was one slab for one door. Are there 4 separate slabs?
Well, yeah, I don't know. You haven't seen the other stillages yet. Or still.
Yeah, there's 4 doors on each side of the middle bit, there isn't there? McGonagall saw that flying round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what
so we don't know if there's plinths relating to each one yet.
That's the confusion. Okay. Thank you.
Or maybe if we push that plinth when it gets round to this side, maybe if it's the button's pushed while the door is facing us, maybe it locks in place and everything opens.
Right.
There's so many possibilities, so I think we should just check out the other rooms for now.
I agree.
All right. Do you split up or do you go as a group?
I think we agreed to stick together.
Yeah, I think we go as a group now.
We should have yeah.
Do you make your way westwards or northwards?
Yeah, so we're all going to go north. I'll leave McGonagall here with instructions to push the button if I tell him to.
Okay.
Which I'll do magically.
So, as you begin making your way north, are you guys rushing, stealthing, being aware? What are you doing? Well, you know there are harpies out there, so how do you want to cross the bridge?
Keeping an eye out for the harpies, being quick, but not like dashing, but, I'll just be looking up in the air, making sure they're not coming after us.
Please make perception rolls at disadvantage then.
We are such a great pie. We don't bullshit at all.
Fine.
Okay, so Joe Pricks, you just happen to catch out of the side of your eye as you guys are rushing across the bridge. There is a harpy that is flying beside you, and then before you get a proper look at it, she got sort of ducks underneath, and you get the feeling she is following you guys underneath the bridge.
We have company underneath us, everybody.
Just yell out,
fire an arrow as soon as we see her again.
I'll just shout down to the bridge. How many fucking harpies have to die before you fucking bastards leave us alone? We've got no quarrel with you. We're just trying to explore.
Can we see it?
You can't see it because she's underneath the bridge. Vorkris, you're intelligent enough to know that it likely doesn't understand your language.
Wow, how rude. As if they haven't bothered to learn a language that we created on the other side of the world. Miserable fucking harpies.
Right?
Does anybody know what language it does speak?
Harpyish. No, I don't.
Hullen.
Well, I definitely don't speak that. I do speak Infernal, which I kind of thought maybe.
You remember that they kept calling when I spoke in Elvish, they kept saying that it was Broken Holland, so they could understand me. They just thought that. Do you speak? You don't, do you?
I don't speak Elvish, no. Bunch of namby-pamby fancy boys. bloody elves.
I believe the person who spoke Elvish is in the sanctuary.
I speak Elvish. So that
no.
one spoke Elvish. That one also spoke Druidic, which is how he was communicating. But yeah, I speak Elvish and Gnomish and Common.
Good to know.
I mean, you can also cast tongues, just saying.
Yeah.
So as you guys are discussing this and moving, that song once again calls out from underneath the bridge. Can everybody make a wisdom saving throw at advantage, please?
God damn it, Lisman!
There's no, you just make the save.
Oh shit! That is well low.
Yeah, DC 11. Despite the fact that you can hear a muffling, beautiful serenading song, you guys ignore it, and you make your way to the next stillage. Why do I always mix that word? Stillage, stilt. It's a stilt. Yeah, so you're able to get through the door into the next stilt. The harpy, you don't know if it gives up or not. You don't see it. However, once you get inside, you can no longer hear its song. Moving inside, it's a similar internal structure as you had previously seen in the last one. You are able to determine that this stilt does connect to a northern one.
Up above it, north of it.
Yeah. So the bridge for it is on a is on your level, but it arcs upwards.
Was there a door in the centre that was higher than the rest?
No. All I'm saying is the interior of this stilt is similar to the one you were previously in. On the outskirts of it, the balcony around the stilt, obviously you've got the connecting bridges. The bridge that you've just discovered that heads to the north, that bridge has an upward arch.
Sorry, not the centre. That makes
this
sense.
one's
Okay.
elevated. I'll type that in.
Yeah. Right.
Do we have a glowing blue plinthy thing?
Yes, you do.
I will say to Joe Pricks that McGonagall is watching the button back there. If I push this button, can your guy fly around and just see if another door is?
Absolutely. I'll apparate. I don't know if that's a word.
And I will mentally tell McGonagall to push his button while I push my button. And in theory, there should be two doors open.
Okay. So as you push your button and McGonagall, I just want McGonagall to make a strength check for me, please.
But he's got a -2 to strength, and I roll really badly anyway.
I know. That's why I need him to make a strength
13.
check. Okay, that's good. Like, he pushes it, and it doesn't really work. So instead, what he does is he flies away, gives himself a running start, and just goes like missile bodies into the button, and that pushes it inwards. And then he holds onto the very edges of like the interior, like to prevent the button from pushing him outwards. You push your button, and the same color disfiguration happens again. Dropix, your Find Familiar flies around, and you can tell not the same door is glowing up that is spinning around. You're able to successfully determine that whilst McGonagall is pressing that button, any door that is closest to facing that stilt over there is the one that opens, and the one that you press over here, whatever door is closest to that side, is what opens.
So it appears, Borkus, that whichever slab is opposite of whichever plinth that we're at, that we push, this button in, that's the slab that's going to open. So this is going to be tricky at best.
Well, I mean, we can use our familiars to push buttons, but it's definitely not how I envisaged it working.
Right.
This one is the same, like it's on a 45-degree angle.
That's right. Yeah, another slant.
How far from the middle are the walls?
This is a good interior, actually. Probably a good 250 feet interior radius.
How much time is it until the bridges sync up again?
At this point, I'd say another half an hour.
Okay, doke. So maybe we just quickly rush and just check the other two rooms out, but then we position ourselves at a room, send a familiar to the. In fact, maybe we send both familiars over, and they can help each other push, and that because I get the feeling McGonagall struggled a bit. He has a bit of a sore head after managing to push that button.
So I'm not. I don't know. What I'm thinking. I know I'm not as smart as you guys, but what I'm thinking is if instead of like these two, if everything is the same in all of them, if we have one here and one here, they will open those doors, right? And then we can just make our way in instead of having to have, you know what I'm saying?
That's a damn good theory. You say you're not as bright as us lot, and you come up with a much better theory than we thought of. Good work, Cora.
I don't think it's better. I just think, sorry. Yeah, but I can still hold it open if we need to.
We have two familiars that I'm sure will do the job well. I can imagine us both rolling really badly on our familiars and then not being able to open the door.
Maybe at this point we split the party into two groups of three with a familiar on each team, so to speak, so that we go to the corresponding and then we meet in the spinning diamond in the middle.
Yeah, like if someone at each end pushes the button down and the familiars just then have to wedge their ass into it so it can't come back out, that should work.
But okay, once we get inside and these buttons are let go and the doors are closed, are we going to be trapped on the inside?
Why would we let the doors go? The familiars can stay out there forever.
What happens if they're killed?
I mean, yes, in the unlikely event of our familiars getting killed, there would be a problem. If the doors start to come down at all, I will misty step outside and I'll make sure we get... It might take me an hour to get to the next platform, but I will definitely get out somehow.
Okay.
I could probably stand guard at the door.
Well, my main concern is I just want to check out the other two rooms before they sync up again and we miss our next chance.
Okay.
So
just out of curiosity, this bridge that ascends up to this northern stilt, about how far is the incline? How much is the elevation?
It's enough to be noticeable. Probably about 20, 30 degree angle.
Okay. It's decently steep. All right. Okay, yeah. We can go.
Okay. So
we
just for the sake of brevity.
Did we inspect this room the way we inspected the other to see if there were any more scimitars or anything?
If you want to make a quick investigation check on the area, should go right ahead.
Okay. Gonna guide myself.
Hey, fucking hell, Zero. You know there are other numbers, right?
Yeah, wasted though.
Right.
Yeah, you can. Unfortunately, this place is pretty ransacked. You spend an extra few minutes just being thorough, and you are able to locate yourself another gemstone. This one is a translucent pink. With a bit of a mossy grey on it. This is called a moss agate. It's another 10 gold piece gemstone.
I'm just popping all these in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Another one.
Can I confirm how you'll how you'll be guys crossing the bridges? Will you just be legging it? Will you be stealthy? Obviously, you know the harpies are hunting you at this point.
Yeah, no, I reckon a brisk walk while looking. Yeah,
right. We're looking mostly, I think.
And just trying to look for signs underneath too, since Joe Prick said that the last one was following us underneath the bridge.
Alright, everybody go ahead and make perception checks, please. This would be at disadvantage because of your hearing.
Sorry, what was that?
Perception checks at disadvantage because of hearing.
Sorry, Jack, I was being a
Yeah,
dick.
you fell for it.
Fucking hell, I fell right for that.
Oh my god.
There's
I mean,
my nat 20
I mean,
wasted.
just as badly too. I fucking Jesus Christ!
That's never going to
Alright.
happen ever again.
Wow, good one.
But Core did great.
Okay, so
Oh wait,
the cross,
sorry, I thought 25 and 1 was.
the bridge crossing to the next stilt is free of harassment. However, Elizabeth and Cora and Zurich, you guys can sorry, Zurich. No, not Zurich. I
Yeah,
that one. Joe
not
Pricks.
mine.
Joe Pricks, Elizabeth and Cora, you guys can clearly see that the harpies are gathering in number now. It looks like word's gotten out of fresh new potential prey running around. You count their number at about a dozen. They are flying around, not in clusters, but in like solo kind of like patrols in the center of this square / spinning diamond airspace, shall we say.
It looks like they're gathering.
It looks
We
like
can
it's harpy season to me.
We can expect an attack, I think, pretty soon.
Should
I
we?
think they can expect an attack pretty soon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're able, just for the sake of brevity, you guys are able to get to the other two stilts, and you find similar layouts to the other two that you have seen. So it seems that each four of them have got mini ziggurats, and each of the mini ziggurats have got blue dial buttons in the center of them.
Guys, do you think we should provoke these harpies? We can get Cora to protect us from their singing, and then we can provoke them so we can just take them all down at once so we don't get caught off guard.
I know that when the time comes, I'm going to send up, I think, a hypnotic pattern to try and charm them myself. Now, I'm going to want you guys to not look at that if I do it, but I'm waiting for them to gather and accumulate an attack.
Or should we try and get them to come closer now? If any of you can hit them, then...
I mean, if they're all in the centre, then we could all just like take position on this next bridge, and just like line up and just blast the fuck out of them. We've all got some sort of ranged stuff.
What about that big fire explosion thing you did the other day?
I mean, I definitely didn't do a big fire explosion thing. I still haven't
one.
learned fireball.
One of you did it.
I have a fireball.
Joe Pricks has
So,
the
like-
spell that every wizard should know.
As soon as we find some, do we have ink? We have time. I think you put it in your book if you have paper in your book.
It sounds like a fantastic idea. I will definitely learn it from you, but at a later date. Not right now.
Not right now, though.
But
So-
yeah, I mean, we tried to reason with them, even though they don't understand us. That's their fault. Now they all die.
Do you want me to make it so you can talk to them?
I mean, I don't care. I'll happily kill them.
Are they generally nice? I mean, they don't seem very nice, but do you think you would get any information out of them?
It's not as though they came and landed next to us and tried to speak to us, and then when we didn't understand them, then they attacked us. They've just attacked us from the start, so they can fuck off as far as I'm concerned.
With the prior rolls that Joe Briggs made, you know that they are a predatory-based creature. So they hunt and they kill for survival and food.
I don't think there'd be any reasoning with them, everybody.
But we could point out that hunting us won't help their survival.
They can be spoken with. They can, because they have intelligence, they can be reasoned with, but they are first and foremost predators.
I would recommend probably skipping the communication stage.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not necessarily want to murder them all, but if we start hitting a few of them with firebolts, hopefully they get the message and fuck off. If they keep attacking, then it's kind of on them at that point.
That's what I'm thinking. We show them that we're not prey, and they'll
Exactly.
Right.
I know exactly what Bark would say in the situation. He would say, it would actually appear that the message, or it would appear that the message they're getting with Firebolt is they need to get more.
Just gonna say we've killed a couple and that hasn't seemed to deter them.
But what we haven't done is kill 20 of them.
Alright, so can I confirm how the party is going to proceed? Are you going to make your way outside onto the bridges, engage the harpies that are gathering before pressing the buttons? Will you press the buttons and engage the harpies as the doors are open up, or like what's the plan?
How long are we looking till sync up time?
Another 10 minutes.
So I mean that's a good 8 minutes of harpy slaying. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
All right. So you make your way out onto the closest bridge. Are you going onto the open bridge that connects in the center of the ring system, or are you going onto one of the connecting bridges, the stilts?
In my head, it was just the last bridge that we hadn't been on, but it doesn't really matter.
With the perception checks that have been made, would we notice that they're coming more from one direction than the other? Like they're coming from here, or they're coming from back this way?
Cora, I want you to make a nature check / mother check.
/ mother check? Is that because
Yeah.
you can hear my brat in the background?
No.
Nature starts with N.
Knowing that these creatures are predators, Cora, you're aware of predatory-based creatures and how they act and how they seem to be swarming in this area. It could be one of two things. It could be one, they are swarming to hunt, or two, they are swarming to protect.
If we spent 2.5 hours trying to find a fucking harpy nest, I'll be pissed off.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know, but like from hanging out with little creatures, and I was pretty protective of my mom until I couldn't. Yeah, I think, we keep killing them and they notice that we're still here and more of them keep coming. I don't know what that means for what's on the inside.
Cora, I've come to trust you a fair bit over our travels. Maybe we should try and communicate with them, explain that if they have something worth protecting in there, then we don't care. But we need to find the source of this magic shit. And at the moment, we believe it's in there. So unless they give us a cast iron reason to know it's not in there, we're going in.
I may have enough time to ritual cast clairvoyance now that I have that fire opal that Emron gave me. I may be able to put an eye in that room. Would that work, Jack?
Never read the spell.
What's that?
He's gonna read the spell.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Well, while he's reading that,
To a location familiar to you, a place you have visited or seen before, or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, such as behind the door, around the corner. You certainly give it a try.
I'll give it a try. It would take 10 minutes, so it would be cutting it close.
Well, I mean,
the range is 1 mile as well. That's pretty good.
If you want to hang out in that room while Vorkris tries to talk to them, so we could do the same. I don't want to miss the opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, and I'll focus on the opal. and try and.
Okay, you go protect yourself in there, though. And then I will reach down and touch Vorkrus's shoulder. I think that you might be a better person than I am. Sometimes I stumble over I try my best, but just be nice. Be nice.
Yes. The well-renowned nice people person of Vorkrus.
Listen, here's the problem: is that you have better charisma. Like I've got a better personality, but you've got better charisma. So if it comes to
you
convincing them,
my charisma is +1.
Well, okay.
Terrible,
is it? Well, mine is.
Yeah, my charisma's shit.
I thought you had high charisma. Okay, fine. I will. Okay, I will.
The bards
Agnes,
often have high charisma.
Where's Agnes? She's not. I have her hidden because she's not. Her camera's not active. Agnes.
Yeah.
Your words are like poetry. Do you think that maybe you could you could sing to them if you want? Show them how pretty your voice is too.
She plays the bagpipes. They'll be fucking terrified and run away.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Do you feel comfortable trying to talk to them?
What they're going to do is either attack me or not. Let's just try it.
Okay. Then I will reach way down and touch you on the shoulder and cast tongues.
Okay.
I'm not leaving. I'm staying by you.
You are now able to communicate with any creature that can understand a language. Agnes. Meanwhile, over the course of a few minutes, Jobrix will finish his ritual and he will cast clairvoyance. A third eye opens up inside your mind, Jobrix, and you see a circular room. Inside the circular room is a great deal of water, water art. Like there's lots of miniature circles around with a small little altar. In the center of this altar, where you expect to see a footing, you instead see a swashingly large water vortex. Very powerful, very wild, and you get the feeling that if you were to fall into that, my goodness, you probably wouldn't get out again. Above this water vortex is a blue orb, quite big, it would be considered a large orb, and it's giving off this bluish-like mist. And your clairvoyance is a little fuzzy, and you get the sense that what you're seeing is in fact the source of your fuzziness. You also see a great number of harpies within there. They are currently perched on pillars, on the walls, on the ground. Some of them are bathing at the moment. And there is one individual that you can see who is different from them. She's a little bigger than them. Still a medium creature, but still bigger. Her skin is slender and smooth. She has rather large fangs. She is a harpy like the rest of them, but her wings are almost crow-like in nature. Her talons are a lot fiercer, and she carries herself with an air of authority. As she proceeds, as these other harpies are sort of sitting down on the ground, kneeling, cowering before her, this matriarch seems to be giving them orders, telling them what to do. They are communicating in a language you do not understand.
So I'd imagine that everybody else is outside while they're performing the tongues spell too, right?
Yes.
Are they able to? Does it look like, from what I can see, they're able to get out of the space?
Yes, there are a few little sliver holes, like big enough. They're only in the ceilings, and they're big enough for a creature to fly up there and crawl through.
I see. Okay. And there are a whole bunch. Great.
Yeah.
I would imagine at the exact same time they're outside. They're performing tongues. I don't know if I'd have time to be able to kind of relay this before they do that.
So as you are seeing this, Agnes has walked outside. Stop me if this is not what you want to do, Agnes. But it doesn't take you too long to see a harpy, and you are able to call out to it. And as you call out to it, the harpy does stop, as well as two of her sisters, who flutter down in the immediate vicinity. One of them whispers into the ear of the one that you initially addressed, and then that one flies off towards the center stilt, and you lose sight on that. As these creatures are contemplating you, through your mind's eye, Jorbrix, you can see that one. Well, you can see one that flies in there as players. It's the same one that was just discussing things whilst they were flying. So you see one fly in there, Jorbrix. It flies down before this matriarch, grovels on the floor and speaks up towards it, and it says something in a language you don't understand. But the matriarch stands up, looks incensed and angry, and just gives this loud-pitched screech towards all the other harpies. They shy and fear away. They take flight, and they begin flying outwards. And you've been around Jorbrix enough to know that is a war cry.
Right. I'd have to bolt out of there and tell that to my friends. That the harpies are coming. They're going to be coming from inside of the center.
The British are coming! The British are coming!
Exactly.
Hey! Whoa there, buddy.
Cora, cast that
Before
spell.
that, Jorbrix, the party will have 2 minutes of roleplay with the harpies that are still there.
Okay.
But we'll do that at the beginning of next session.